Hello, welcome back to Thursday Thursday nights on Garblight Games. Oh, it's wrong night. Good night, everybody. We're back this week. We're taking a break this week from Actun Cthulhu. We've been doing for the last 3 months, I think, if not more. And Aaron, I'm not in the GM seat. I'm down below. Aaron is going to be running us a Conan one shot tonight, a special Christmas holiday themed Conan one shot. So thank you, Aaron, for doing that. And sit back, enjoy. We're gonna do some Conan. We're going to Hyperborea, and we're gonna get into some mischief here, holiday mischief. So I'll hand it over to Aaron.
Thank you, Matt. Welcome everybody, and welcome to our first playthrough of Conan, Modiphius's excellent foray into Robert E. Howard's world. We're going to start out with a little player introduction, and then we'll have a little narrative description of how we're starting out, and then you'll meet the characters a little bit later on. So we'll go that way. Jeremy.
Hello.
Tell us about you.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I get to hang out with these people all week long, and it's fantastic. I make lots of stupid decisions, and it's great fun.
How about you, Megan? I think you're muted.
Oh,
there
you
goes.
are.
Now it kicked in at
Oh.
the end.
so as you know, I'm technologically challenged. But I'm Megan. I also get to play with these guys once a week and make terrible life choices that turn out great. So here's hoping that tonight is no different.
I'm sure they will be just fine. After all, it is a Christmas one shot. So what are the odds that I'll kill you all off?
Hopefully not good, because we're going to be playing more Conan in the future, and we can play these characters again. Huh?
That is true. That is true. After Matt's right. If they survive after we finish Shadows of Atlantis in 2023, I will be running us through an extended Conan campaign. We'll probably be diving into the shadows of the sorcerer. All right, Matt.
Hello, I'm Matt. I'm usually up there. I'm down here. Thank you, Aaron, for running this. I love Conan, the world of Conan, so I'm very excited to be playing in a Conan game.
Fantastic. Jeff, are you going to be the one that murders Matt?
I mean, if you don't do it, I will gladly do that, as he dumped me like 10 minutes before this stream started. So, you know, a little upset.
A little backstory drama there. It was entertaining to watch. And last but not least, Evan.
Yeah, I know very little about Conan, so I am the person that's probably gonna break all the lore and rules of what exists in the world. But you know what? That's the part of role playing.
It's a good time. This is our version of Hyboria, not anyone else's. So we're gonna have a good time with it. Disclaimer, this is the first time that I've run Conan, and this is the first time for some of us who played it, so we'll be walking through some of the rules. We'll likely make a few mistakes because combat is wonderfully chunky and pulpy, so bear with us. We're going to have a good time, and we hope you enjoy it too. I like to start with a small quote from Robert E. Howard's essay, The Hyborian Age. In the north, golden-haired, blue-eyed barbarians, descendants of the blonde Arctic savages, had driven the remaining Hyborian tribes out of the snow countries, except the ancient kingdom of Hyperborea, which resisted their onslaught. Their country is called Nordheim, and they are divided into the red-haired Vanir of Vanaheim and the yellow-haired Azir of Asgard. And you are going to find us tonight in Nordheim. And as our camera pans out, we see a raven flying above a caravan, traveling through the deep winter snows of Asgard, draft horses pulling sleighs through near blizzard conditions. A fierce wind and storm has started out of the east, and you see the caravan master, Halfdan, pushing hard to make headway towards the village of Valsgard, to make it in time for the Yule festivals. The storm and the fierce winds have delayed the journey from the Asgardian capital, and at best the beleaguered column will arrive on the afternoon of the second day of the Yule festival and the beginning of the annual Thing. And for those of you unaware, a thing is a meeting or a gathering of the headsman under a particular jarl, where people journey together and they make political decisions and they have festivals, etc. And as we dive in deeper, we see the caravan stopping for the night. Caravan master shaking his shaggy head, determined to make it to Volsgard tomorrow, but realizing there's no way to push on into the darkening late afternoon, not with the cold wind blowing against him. So the caravan sleighs circle up, the fires start, the tents are brought out, the guards are posted, and we find Master Halfton sitting around a fire with several of his guardsmen and scouts. And he looks over and he says, I'm going to tell you all the story. Why? I know some of you have never been to Volsgard during the Yule, and I'm going to explain to you why it's so important that we get there. And he looks first at Rogo. And what does he see?
He sees a very tall man. Light brown hair, perhaps blonde, pale of skin. He is lithe, but with very defined muscles. He's not wearing many clothes despite the cold. He does not understand this desire to have clothes on. He is with nature. But he has a few odds and ends here, mainly straps to keep his weapons, large broadswords sticking out off across his right shoulder, smaller weapons around his waist. And he has scars on his face and down his arms, several, in fact, as if he has suffered a significant amount of savagery in the past. His wounds suggest a man of great age, but he is actually not. You get to know him. If you see him in good light, you'll see he's a very young man, early 20s perhaps. But he has lived a very harsh life that has led him here.
And what brought Rogo to sign on to the caravan?
Rogo is currently looking for a way to stay out of the beating heart of Hyperborea. He has suffered a past history that is... It is better if he is away. And so he has taken up guard work. He is good with sword. He is good with stealth, and he will not hesitate to hurt someone, whether they are a thief, a scoundrel, or perhaps even somebody who breaks one's heart.
And Halfton claps Rogo on the shoulder, and he's like, you've been a stout guard this entire journey, and I was fortunate enough to pick you up in Malm. And then he looks across, scans across with his squinted eyes, and he sees Quintus. And what does he see when he looks at Quintus?
Looks at Quintus, he sees a man in his mid to late 30s, but looking at him, it looks like he's much older than that, more like his well into his 40s due to experiences in life. He's got shoulder-length black hair. He's got scars on his faces. He does not have any skin showing like Rogo. He is covered in buckskins, and he's trying to his best to keep warm in these conditions. He has a bow slung across his back, and curled up at his feet is a large black wolf.
And what brought Quintus to the caravan?
Quintus is a former garrison soldier from the Bessonian Marches who was attacked and left for dead by Picts and was saved by a Cimmerian. He prayed for death to Mitra and was instead sent a Cimmerian who saved his life. And he now travels with Cormac, chasing and breaking up slavers wherever they can and finding their fortune. And that has brought Quintus here as part of this caravan to find our latest fortune to spend and squander away until the next one.
And speaking of Cormac, what do we see when we look at the Cimmerian next to Quintus?
They're going to see the largest and most original character that you've ever seen or ever heard about. He's a Cimmerian barbarian. He's a tower of flesh. He's a murderous monster. But he likes Quintus fairly well because the thing was, one time slavers They stabbed me and they left me for dead too. Big mistake. Now Quintus, he knows how to find people, and then we go find the people, and we kill the people, and we get money, and he finds ways for us to get money for killing people, and it's amazing. I've never been happier.
Halfton stares at you almost in bemusement, remembering some of the anecdotes that you've shared with him on the trip thus far. But then his eyes slide over to Argus. And what do we see when we look at Argus?
Yeah, Argus is a maybe 6 foot tall or so, older gentleman, probably the oldest person here, maybe late 50s or so, 55 around there. You can definitely see the gray coming out in his hair. He has long hair, kind of dreadlocked. He definitely gives the vibe of someone who does not belong in Nordheim and probably isn't here on purpose. He still has his trusty pirate hat, although it has seen some wear and tear since his shipwreck. But he is here because his ship did wreck, and he's trying to find funds to get a new one with his newly appointed only other surviving crewmate, first mate of Lenora.
And Lenora, what you followed Argus on this trail to find funds to buy a new ship, but tell us a little bit about her.
Well, in stark contrast to the entire rest of the group, Lenora is like blonde hair, blue eyes, young 14-year-old, not a scratch on her, and covered in sheepskins. It's all you can see is her little head poking out of this massive pile of sheepskins, and absolutely will follow Captain Argus to the ends of the earth. He is the most noblest, most genuine, most amazing captain. One day, when I'm older and I've learned all I can learn from Captain Argus, I too will be a captain as mighty as him.
And so we find this eclectic group of adventurers who've tagged along on this caravan for gold or to perhaps escape from some of their past. And they're sitting around the fire with Halden, and he goes, "Now, don't laugh at what I'm going to tell you, my friends, but you joined this caravan at the right time. We will be spending the Yule in one of the most amazing magical places that there is in all of Nordheim. I have been traveling to this village every Yule since I was a child, since my father ran this caravan. And he traveled it as a child when his father ran it. And ever since the time of my grandfather, maybe even my great-grandfather, those who live in the village of Volsgard, and now even the areas surrounding, all the lands that hold fealty to the Jarl, are blessed, and do not laugh, blessed by the Sage of Winter. Santa Claus himself comes down during the Yule, the first night of the Yule. All within the Jarl's fiefdom will hear his bells, and as they go to sleep each night of the Yule, they will dream of the Sage of Winter, and he will visit them, and they will feel warmth and joy if they have been good and honest and true to their lord, if they have kept their word and been upstanding citizens of the Jarl. They will feel that warmth, and then the morning of the last day of the Yule, they will awaken, and at their hearth there will be great sacks filled of sweetmeats and treats and delicacies from all over the world. Clothes and furs and new weapons, toys for the children. All these good things, but most important, good fortune for the year for those who are in the favor of the Sage of Winter. Now, not everyone can be so good and upstanding, and those who have turned to the old ways, to the ways of raiding, of thieving, of raping, those who still have evil in their hearts, well, instead, on the morning, they find an effigy of bone, a figure of themselves made of animal bones, and within it, a black heart of coal, letting them know that they have been turned away from Santa Claus, and that their only good fortune in the year will be what they can scrape out of the rocks themselves. So you see, every year I have gone, my caravan has gone, and every year my caravan has prospered, because I hold true to my word. And you too will have this opportunity if we only manage to get there tomorrow. We've already lost the first day, but I am quite certain I've dreamed of him every night that I've been there, and we still have several nights of Yule to go. So in the morning, we will pack up early and we will travel hard, and by afternoon we shall be in the village of Volsgard. But you must make haste in the morning and help me drive this caravan into the village. What say you, my new friends and employees?
I have a question. So you were saying that as long as you get to the place and you are a good person, we all prosper. I don't necessarily have to be a good person, or I do also have to.
He travels to the dreams of everyone under his purview. And if you have been a good person in this last year, you will be rewarded. And if you have not, well, you'll know that next year, if you travel with the caravan, all you need do in this year is be good. Now, when I say good, I do not mean that you have to be the best of Pearsons, but you must be honest with yourself and with your Lord and with your people. You must care for one another. I have killed, I have done what I must do to be a prosperous businessman, but I have always been honest in my dealings, and for that, Santa Claus has always accepted me for who I am. It is only those who lie, cheat those close to them, steal from their neighbors. Those are the ones who he turns away. It is Nordheim, after all. We cannot be too soft here. And I will tell you this, I owe you each 5 gold pieces at the end of this journey if we make it to Volsgard by tomorrow afternoon, a bonus of 2 gold pieces for each man or woman who helps me get there.
I will do what you say. I will help. I have agreed to this, but Santa Claus passing judgment on my goodness, I care not for this. But I will help you with the caravan, as I said I would.
Well, Rogo, that is good enough for me.
Will he come into like any dream that you're having, or does he only pick like that? Could be a little bit embarrassing, maybe.
Now you'll find that the dream will change as he enters it. It will be his dream that you will be within.
There goes your sex dream, big man.
What do you say,
This I don't want to know about, Cormac. I don't want to know what you dream normally, but I will tell you this. When he comes to you, you will find yourself in his dream, in a great lodge, a great hunting lodge with a huge fire and great happiness and joy and feasting. That is the dream that he always gives to me when I sit at his table and we talk into the long night about who I am and what I've done. Each night of the Yule, I have that dream. And in the morning, I am always gifted with good fortune.
I'm going to strive for some honest murder in the following days.
That's what I like to hear. A good Sumerian vow. Just remember, don't murder anyone in the caravan because they are under our protection.
Gotcha. So they would have to be fired first before I can murder them. Understood, sir.
Yes, I suppose that would probably be acceptable. If they're fired for dishonesty, then absolutely.
Question.
Yes,
they can be killed, but not murdered. Like, we could kill them if we catch them doing something untoward or wrong. Like, we could, but not like we cannot intentionally.
Absolutely. An honorable killing is. How else could we survive up here? Good. It's dishonest. It's the murder. It's the vile betrayal that he despises.
Yes, yes.
And with that, the caravan master rolls up in his furs and goes to sleep. The following morning, dawn comes, but the conditions are so cold, the wind is so biting, and the snow is blowing so hard that the conditions are virtually whiteout. Fortunately, he's got a couple of good seasoned scouts who begin to lead the caravan off towards Valsgard. And although you don't make good time, you do make good enough time to reach the village late afternoon of the second day of Yule. And as the sleighs come into the square, you see a large gathering of people, more so than the village could hold. Obviously, the thing has called people from all of the other villages within the Jarl's fiefdom. And you see people placing idols and tributes on the Yule tree to the spirits and small gods in hopes for fortune. And you see that the caravan master getting down, and he's talking to some of his more senior people, and he goes, "All right, all of you new hires for the year, come here. I want to distribute your pay, and give you a few rules for the village of Volsgard. I'd hate for you to find yourselves in trouble with the Jarl or his guard." And he gathers you all around, and he's starting to distribute pay, not just to you, but to others with you. And his back is to the great log house. And out of that log house, you see three people approaching. One, the man in front is a huge bear of a man. His blonde hair and beard have gone on white, but you see no weakness in him. His features are almost cast in stone, but there is a smile on his face. He's wearing mail and the fur of a great polar bear, and he has a battle axe at his hip. And then behind him on his left-hand side, you see a younger woman, not much shorter than him, with very similar features in a slightly more feminine cast. She's also wearing furs and mail, and she has a shield across her back and a broadsword at her hip and a spear in her hand. If you had to guess, you would assume that she was his daughter. And then over his right shoulder, there's a young man, almost the spitting image of the young girl. However, instead of the long hair and beard that you associate with the Aesir of Asgard and even the Vanaheim, he's clean shaven with a short haircut, more often seen in the Southlands. You see no visible weapons on him, and his furs and tunic are of a much finer cut. And as they approach the back, one of the senior guards from the caravan nudges the caravan master, and he looks over his shoulder. He's like, "Oh, that is the Jarl. Be very respectful, and if he addresses you, he understand that he is the ruler, not just of this village, but of this entire area. He's a fair man, but he's also a warrior. So his name is Helvgid Gulluf." And you see the Jarl come up, and he taps the caravan master on the shoulder, and the caravan master turns around, and the Jarl wraps him in a bear hug. Obviously, they've known each other probably all their lives. And the Jarl says, "Apologies, my friend, but can we steal you away for a moment?" Caravan master turns back to you and he's like, just stay here. I'll settle your pay and everything in a moment, but I must speak with the Jarl." And they only go off a few feet, and the Jarl's head, the caravan master's head come together, and they whisper a bit. They talk for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then the caravan master looks over his shoulder, and he says something else back to the Jarl. And the Jarl says, all right, shakes his head, and he turns back, and he goes back towards the log house with what you assume to be his two children. The caravan master comes back over to you, and he's like, "Rogo, you and Cormac and Argus and Lenora and Quintus, come over here for a moment. You're all new. This is your first time as part of my caravan, and I have a proposition for you."
Okay. This proposition.
The Jarl would like to hire you all as guards. He needs to send an envoy to the Vale of the Sage of Winter. I cannot say any more other than to tell you that he will pay you each 10 gold pieces in jewels and goods, and you will have nothing to want for while you stay in his village. You will be given shelter, a home to stay in, all the food and drink that you can possibly consume, all the comforts that the village can offer if you undertake this mission for him. But before he will tell you more, you must agree to it. And I tell you this now, he is a fair and honorable man, or he would not have the blessings of Santa Claus each year. And 10 gold pieces on top of the 7 that I will pay you already is a small fortune for simple caravan duty.
All
If
the
you're
food
willing.
and drink I can handle. That's a foolish offer on his part.
Well,
I mean,
he may not be aware that you're a Sumerian, but he will stand good to his word, my friend.
Lenora and I accept the Jarl's
no,
proposition.
no. Oh,
When he
boy.
said Jarl, I was just waiting for some moment to say it.
No.
This is an unfortunate name for this guy.
Well, Captain Argus, Jarl is his title. You can call
It's
him.
good enough for me.
But yes, that is how you should address him, Jarl Gunnuf. Unless he gives you leave to use his first name. But if you all accept, I will escort you into the log house.
Yes, yes. Do you think he'd answer my questions about that beautiful white bear he was wearing? Did you see that, Captain? It was incredible.
Maybe we should become a little more personable with him before we, maybe it was like his pet or something, and then it's sad times, and they're wearing it for,
Gosh, you're so smart. Oh, absolutely. I'll wait.
Can't piss off our employer.
So as you move your way into the long house, you see there's a great hearth in the middle of it, and there's a long table set up on one side, and then there's a raised dais where there are three chairs. But you actually find the Jarl and his children seated at the table, and he motions you over. And he stands. He goes, "I am Jarl Helvig Gunnuf. I appreciate the fact that you are willing to undertake this mission for my village and for all of the villages under my purview. Let me introduce my son, Calder. He is a diplomat and a skald. I've sent him into the South Kingdoms to learn trade and to learn their languages. And this is my daughter, a shield maiden and the captain of all of my forces, Lagartha. What I tell you now is in confidence, though the others within the village obviously have felt this or have felt the lack of it. I have tamped down suspicions for now, but last night we heard no bells coming from the mountain, and we were visited by no dreams from Santa Claus. Something has happened, and although my son has urged us to accept the will of Santa Claus as it obviously is in his opinion, I feel that we must send emissaries and a missive to him to ask him to return and gaze upon our village and my lands and give us his blessings. So I've written a missive, and my son and daughter will be my emissaries, and I would ask you to be their escorts and guards. I do not want to send too many of my own forces. I don't want rumors to spread that the Sage of Winter has turned his shoulder against us. There will only be 2 who will go with you. They will be the sleigh. They will drive the sleighs and set the camp at the base of the mountain for you. But Hard and Odger are simple but hard soldiers, and they won't ask questions. You will spend the night here in my longhouse, and in the morning you will head out for the mountain. It's a hard journey, and harder still with this cold and blasted wind. It'll take you the better part of the day to reach there. You'll camp at the base of the mountain at night, and then you'll need to make the climb up the sheer ice face to a great tunnel. None have been there. Not since my grandfather's time have we dared visit the sage or his veil. But it is said in my great-grandfather's time that others have gone. And you will climb for about half a day, and there will be a great tunnel, a great pass in through the mountain. The breath of Njord, as it's called, and you will pass through that into his veil. And there you will find the veil of the sage. You will find an old temple, from what I understand, to Bertha, the goddess of the hearth, of the winter hearth. And it's there that the Sage of Winter makes his home. I would ask you that you present my son and daughter and my missives to him and allow them to beg for his presence this Yuletide, and then escort them back. You have to understand, all of the headsmen are here, and there are many who simply look for an excuse to turn to the old ways again. I don't want to give them that excuse. So you will spend your night here. Tell me if there's any gear that you need to requisition. We'll obviously give out climbing harnesses to all of you. It will be a difficult journey, but as I'm sure my friend the caravan master has told you, I will pay you well. And if you are successful, even greater riches, perhaps upon your return. Do you have questions of me or my son or daughter?
What sort of resistance can we expect on this journey?
I would think little. We travel the woods and the dales between here and the mountain on a regular basis. I mean, there are wolves about and the occasional bear, but you'll be a party, a sleigh-bound party. I can't imagine you'll run across anything that would dare to try you. Now, on the mountain itself, as I said, no one has climbed it since my great-grandfather's time, so of that I can't be certain, but the Vale of the Sage of Winter is meant to be a place of paradise, so I would think as long as he allows you in, my greatest risk is him simply saying no, I would think. But you must be prepared for anything. That's why I want guards going. Proven warriors, and the caravan master says you all have proven yourself on the trip from Mal here. And the son, Calder, at that point, pipes up and he's like, Father, I'm still telling you that if the Sage of Winter has decided to not visit us this year, we must simply take it upon ourselves to do what we think is right for the people. This journey is a waste of time and effort. We need to focus on the people here and make sure that they have the Yule they deserve. His daughter, Ligera, just looks over and she just shakes her head. Doesn't say a word, but shakes her head. At this point, is there anything you want to ask or anything you want to do before you settle in for the night here in the Longhouse?
Rogo will eat very much. He will drink even more, and he will ready himself for the morning.
And once again, the Jarl's like, my home will be your home for tonight. I apologize that you will not be mixing with the rest of the villagers and the rest of the festivities tonight. But if all goes well, you will return before the end of Yule, and you will be heralded as heroes. But the less rumors that are spread, the better. All right. Unless there's anything you want to do, you guys settle in for a warm night in the Longhouse, eat well, drink well, and before dawn, Ligera comes about and rousts each of you. It's time that we're away, my friends.
If they do allow us to requisition anything, if you'll forgive me, your shield there, ma'am, that's a fine one. I have some gold to spare. I broke my last one in the person's face, and then his friend's face, and I just left it.
Well, this shield is actually an Abacantan steel shield. But if all you're looking for is a shield, absolutely, we'll happily give you one. And I, Aaron, the Doom Master, will drag it onto your character sheet for you.
Very grateful for it.
Can I trouble you for some arrows as well before we set out?
Absolutely. How many additional volleys of arrows would you like?
I got 5 now. 3 more.
Okay.
You don't use a whole volley unless you do certain action combat, right? There's certain.
That is correct.
Okay.
And you can always recover arrows
right
after you fired them. So, but yes, if you use, there are actions where if you use the volley action, you get bonuses to that. So, is there anything else that we can get you before we begin our journey?
Could we get some furs for the naked man in our party?
He
Seems a little underdressed for the cold mountains.
Well, Sumerians are hardy.
No, the
folk.
other one. He's also naked. I guess we have 2 naked people. They seem like we're not really taking this seriously.
I've got the fur cloak. I've got some brigandine on me. I think he just likes to stay angry. I think that gives him his edge. So he goes out there, he lets the cold turn his nipples into tiny little buttons, and then he takes that rage and he stabs it into people.
Well, and yes, Hyperboreans, our neighbors to the east, are almost as tough as we in Nordheim. So if he wishes to travel into the cold as such, I am sure he'll be fine.
Rogo will let the slight go, recognizing where he is. He will stay silent.
And so you're led out pre-dawn, and you see there's a large sleigh out here, outfitted obviously for a few days of travel and camping. And you see 2 older men in their probably early 40s. They look like brothers, and they've everything is checked. All the gear is stowed. The horses are there. Are you going to all be riding in the sleigh, or do others want to ride their own mounts? Or do you want a horse if you don't have your own mount?
Rogo has his own, so he will ride that one.
I will ask for a horse. If
Sure, they will loan you a riding horse. Now you got to understand, these horses are not like combat trained. They're like Clydesdales. I mean, to survive in this kind of wilderness, they're just big, heavy draft horses. They don't do a lot of riding out here, but they do have saddles, and they saddle up a horse for you as well.
I'm calling shotgun in the sleigh.
You see Calder is in the back of the sleigh, wrapped in heavy furs, clearly miserable, while his sister is on one of the side runners with her shield strung over her back. She's like, "Let us be off. I want to be gone from the village before the sun is over the horizon." And with that, Hod snaps the reins of the sleigh, and the sleigh and the 3 horses make their way out of the village. Now, Quintus, is Gorm in the sleigh, or is he running alongside you?
he is running alongside me.
The snow at this point is about 3 feet deep. He's able. I mean, he's a wolf. He's a big wolf from the area, so he's able to keep up. But the snow is pretty deep. And as you guys slowly make your way out of the village, you start to actually feel the temperature drop, which you didn't even think was possible. You're like, in modern times, in Fahrenheit, it's like 15 degrees below zero. And the further you go through the day, the colder it gets, and the harder the wind blows out of the east, or out of the mountain that you're facing. And as you go further and further, you actually kind of see a scene similar to what you see behind my head. You see one giant peak that you are slowly making your way towards, but the cold is starting to bite deep into you. So unless you are winterborn, I need everybody to make a resistance check. Difficulty 1.
Do our furs give us any bonus?
Nope.
Does Gorm's good because he's
No, Gorm's good. Gorm's
a
good.
wolf.
He's a wolf. He's fine.
You said resistance, right?
Yeah, resistance 1. Unless you're Winterborn. I don't think any of you are.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so Lenora succeeds and generates a couple points of momentum for you guys.
Momentum.
We got a
I
bunch.
might spend one of those momentum to help me here.
Ooh, 3
Rogo
successes.
succeeds. Cormac succeeds and generates 2 more points of momentum. And Quintus succeeds. Okay, so the cold is biting at you, but you're all able to shake it off. You're not starting to feel the fatigue seep into your bones from this aching chill. It's about midday, however, as the sleigh goes across the snow and the horses are making their way through it, that you start hearing the howls on your back trail. A keening howl of what sounds like a wolf pack. And then bursting out from the trees on the right-hand side, quite a distance back, you see at first 5 wolves, about the size of Gorm, all black, covered in snow, and unexpectedly driving towards the caravan as if to close the distance. I mean, perhaps they're starving. Though you wouldn't think so because game is readily available in this area. And then bursting from behind them, literally pushing smaller trees out of its way, you see something that at first you can't even comprehend. It's easily twice the size of one of these draft horses, standing at least 6 feet at the shoulder, the basic form of a wolf, but with a great hunched back on its shoulder and a elongated snout and eyes burning red coal. And Ligera lets out a gasp and says, "Gods above, a hound of Ymir." Now you have a choice. You can choose to engage the wolf pack and the hound of Ymir, or you can try to outrun it. What do you want to do?
Mechanically,
mean,
knowing this group, I have a feeling we're fighting it, are we?
Rogo is reckless. So.
Yeah.
It would be a good story if we were just to run.
Well, mechanically speaking, how it would work is it would be a struggle. If you choose to run, one of you will lead the effort, either using survival or animal handling, and everybody else can aid with 1 dice with a skill that they think is appropriate against the Ymir, who would be leading the wolf pack. And they're at long distance now. So for every success, if you guys get more net successes than they do, you move out 1 distance. I said they're at medium range right now. So you would move out to long distance and then you would escape. If they net more successes, they move into close distance and then they would get to attack if they did it again. So it's kind of a seesaw situation. Or you can just turn and fight.
I mean, it is a one-shot after all.
If we do not fight them now, they will hound us for the journey. And they will find us at a weaker stage.
He said hound us. Because they're wolves. Let's chop them in the face.
Very good summary.
Form a line.
All right. So Ligera says, right, stop the sleigh. Turn it. And the horses stumble and turn. You guys will be able to set your line before battle is engaged. Now, the wolves do act as a mob or a squad, technically under the control of the Hound of Ymir. Now, since you guys have all turned and you're facing them directly, at this point, I need discipline checks from everybody. Difficulty 3.
Oh my.
As the fear of this begins to hit you. Okay, Lenora fails.
Difficulty 3?
3?
So we can give you Doom.
You can give me Doom
We have
for extra dice,
yeah.
and you have 3 points of momentum.
I'll take momentum.
I'm gonna take a momentum.
Damn.
And something that's important to remember in Conan, unlike Achtung Cthulhu, each point of momentum buys you a dice. So for 3 momentum, you get 3 dice. For 3 points of doom, you get 3 dice. The maximum dice is still 5, but it's cheaper to buy extra dice. Also, remember that fortune points, you have 3 fortune points or 2, unless you sold one off in the beginning. And they regenerate after every session. So you don't need to hoard them like we do in Achtung Cthulhu. So, and if you act to your trait, you can regenerate, you can get them back during gameplay.
Okay.
And it still does an auto crit for fortune if you use it, or no?
If you can use fortune for that point. You can use fortune and will automatically give you a critical 2 successes. You can use fortune to get a bonus standard action. You can use fortune to get your second wind, which allows you to recover all lost vigor or resolve, which is big if you take a big hit. Or you can use it to overcome weakness. If you've taken multiple wounds, you can ignore the effects of those wounds for the remainder of that scene. Or, of course, you can do it just like we've done it in other 2D20 games where you do a story declaration. You declare something to be, and then, I decide whether or not it's crazy or not.
Rogo is going to do both. He's going to burn fortune to get an auto crit. Then I will burn momentum to get extra die.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how to.
I'm gonna do the auto crit also.
Hey, everyone's taking my idea.
So
It's a good idea.
You could just.
It is. It sounds scary. Whatever it is. And we still roll. We roll 1 dice, or we roll.
I don't think this is not quite as sophisticated as the Achtung Cthulhu module and Foundry. So just roll the two dice, and the first one will just be the 1.
Okay. Good. I'll do that as well.
Do I want to spend another momentum? How many momentum is everybody buying?
Well, I got an auto crit, and that 3 would.
I'm
give
not
me my
using
third.
any.
Aaron, I'm giving you a doom. I'm gonna see if it auto does it. I'm gonna put it on my sheet and let's see if it increases by 1.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Nice. Argus.
Arr.
Okay, I like it. Argus.
Well, my first roll is technically the 1 with the thing, so I guess the complication doesn't actually happen. I still fail though.
I don't know why I rolled. What? Oh, 5 dice. Failure.
Okay. So, Quintus failed, Argus failed, and that first one will be the 1, not the 20.
Yeah.
Rogo failed. I only got the crit. I didn't get any extra successes.
Rogo failed, Cormac failed, and Lenora.
I'd spend a fortune, and I think my first one's a 3.
Okay. Let's see.
I think so. If you spend fortune, like if you put 1 for fortune, it'll one of your dice should be like my last one. There's a 1, and I'm assuming that's my fortune 1.
Oh, okay.
And because I did 5 dice, I went all in. I did the fortune plus I gave him doom plus I took a momentum.
Okay, so if that's a 1, what's your discipline rating? Cormac?
10.
Okay, so you still failed.
Really? With the fortune and the 3 is under 10, right?
Did you roll 3 dice or 2?
We were taking the first dice as the auto crit.
You said to take the first dice
as the auto crit.
So
it'd be
I misunderstood.
Be a
I'm
1 and
sorry.
a 14, yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
So everybody failed. And that, that's okay. So what happens when you fail?
Nothing.
No. It's not exactly what happens. So okay, only got 1 success and no effects. So you guys got really lucky. Actually, didn't spend damn because you got.
Is this resolve?
Yeah. So while you can try to resist this now, because this is what happens when you under the effects of fear. If you fail the fear check, you automatically fall. You automatically get basically a free attack of whatever their threatened attack is. So he only got 1 success. So what you can do is, if you want to attempt to resist that, you can resist it with a discipline roll. And if you get more than 1 success, again, against difficulty 3, you don't get affected by it.
If
It's
not, we
diff-
take 1 damage, like 1 resolve damage.
You take one resolve damage.
Oh, that seems kind of weak.
Yeah, he didn't get a good roll.
That's
And
good.
none of you are
No,
stunned.
no. I would prefer that.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm gonna take the damage. I don't know how to take it down. How do you move it down?
Left click or right click? One of the two.
Oh, right click. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Yep, right click.
Okay, so you guys have felt the fear of the Hound of Ymir and his pack, and it's, it weakened your bowels a little bit, but you're made of sterner stuff than this. You see Calder just flinches in his robes, and doesn't even appear to look like he's going to look out. But Lagertha, it looks like to be made of sterner stuff. Now, the way combat works in Conan is you guys all get to go first. Unless, of course, I spend 1 point of doom,
Oh.
and then I get to take the initiative from you. And I can do that as many times as I want.
And you would take all of your enemies or just one enemy?
No, it's just one enemy. Like I could
Okay.
I could spend 1 doom to have 1 enemy go. But this is a squad, so they all act as one anyway. So
Right.
Gotcha.
So they're faced off against you. You guys are currently at close range because you stopped and turned and they kept moving. What do you want to do? Who wants to go first?
Argus will go first, positioning himself in front of Lenora, like he'll specifically try to block the path for people to get to her. And he'll just go to the closest wolf with a grin, pull out his sword, and take a swing.
Okay, so you move into reach, and you swing at a wolf.
Yep. Sounds like something I can do. And then it's under attacks, and then click attack, I assume.
Yeah, you should be able to
Yeah.
click on the weapon itself.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can go to belongings and click on the weapon.
And difficulty's just 1.
Difficulty is 1. Their reach is 1. Your reach is 1. So
Woo!
Nice.
All right. you got you hit and you generated 1 point of momentum.
Okay,
So
so
what?
then damage. I'll just add that damage. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
Add the bonus dice of the momentum in. 10 damage.
Oh, that's really good.
Nice. So you swing this blade around and you catch this wolf basically right at the base of its rib cage, and you dig in and pull out. And as you pull back, its entire insides spill out on the ground, and it just flattens dead on the ground before it could even snarl. And now the pack is down to 4 plus the Ymir, the Hound of Ymir.
He will
Nice.
look back at Lenora, like give the nod, and then he will scream out and lifting up his sword, "For the yard!" It's like going on way too long. The wolves start to attack him.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go for sure. Like, Lenore's gonna pull out her her throwing daggers for sure, and is going to throw them at wolf number 2. Can't be showed up by her captain. Gosh.
Okay, and what's you're in close range, so there's no range penalty for throwing a dagger, so roll
Excellent.
the hit.
Nice.
Difficulty 1, 3 successes, 2 momentum generated. Very nicely done.
Wow.
Damage. I'm gonna add both of the momentum.
To damage.
Oh, would exceed maximum points. I apologize. I got an error message. So damage 2. Because if I go under damage and I go add 2 momentum, it says that it won't.
Oh, that's because we didn't put them in the counter first. Okay, good.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
try
yeah.
it. Now try it. Reroll your damage. Yeah, every time we get momentum. So the quirk of this Foundry module is you have to add it into the
Doesn't
momentum
physically
bar
go,
at the
yeah.
bottom before you spend it. Okay.
Okay.
So is there any effects for your throwing knife?
See if it has any qualities listed on it.
No, just this hidden,
So the blade, the knife sinks into the shoulder of one of these wolves and it lets out a yelp, and looks at you and is skittering around trying to get himself into better position. And the Hound of Ymir is just staring daggers at you. Let's see, random. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just do a little dice roll here. Okay, he's staring daggers at you, Argus, because you've killed one of its pack members, but it doesn't do anything.
Yarr!
Back to you guys.
Rogo will. Is the Hound of Ymir like in range as well? Like, can we?
Yeah, you're in close range, so you can move into engage.
Rogo will go at. He is reckless. He'll say, "Good, bad Santa Claus, this place," and he'll go in. Is there any? I know there's a benefit to having better reach than when you're defending against somebody. Is there any benefit to having increased reach when you're attacking someone? So I have an adaptable combat ability, which allows me to, like, I can just freely adjust my reach. So if I were to make my reach like 3, which I would be able to do to attack this thing, does that benefit me in any way?
If you break his guard and your reach is less than the extent of his reach, you get bonus momentum under the broken guard. But no, if your reach is greater than his reach, your attack doesn't get any benefit, but him trying to attack you is more difficult unless he breaks your guard.
Okay. So I'll just go in at him recklessly. It's just some dog like this whatever that fella is over there. And yeah, so I'll go in, I have the broadsword out. And I will use a point of momentum, so I can use my Death Blade, which means I get to take 2 bonus d20s for every, so I get an extra one there. So let me see. So that is the broadsword. I said the broadsword, so I'm using Doom. So I'm not sure I'm not sure if it's going to take into account my talent or not. So I'm just going to put in 2 momentum, even though I'm only spending 1.
Good deal.
Okay, so I got to redo it since it wouldn't let me roll since there weren't 2 in there now. Okay, 2 successes.
Okay.
Generated 1 momentum.
Now, as you swing at the Hound of Ymir, one of the wolf pack jumps in and intercepts your blade. It's one of the interesting mechanics for the squad stuff. Is when you're attacking a squad, you kind of have to go through the squad before you get to the leader of the squad. However, I will say this going forward: if you want to spend the 2 momentum on a called shot when you're dealing with a situation like that, you can bypass and actually go right after the leader. Or give me 2 doom. So if you want to do that and give me 2 doom right now, I'll let your hit on the Hound land.
Take 2 doom, Aaron.
Oh my, we're about to get
Doomified.
It's a one shot.
It's the right choice.
It is a doggy. It is okay.
Okay, so
completely
you've
agree.
got 2 successes. So because he is a nemesis, he is able to try to resist that. So he will try to resist that. Swinging.
He has to beat 2.
Is he trying to parry?
Mm-hmm.
So he has increased difficulty against me, though, because
Nice.
of my adaptable
Yes, because-
blade.
Yep.
Because I have 3 reach on my attack.
And his
So-
attack is 1, so his difficulty is 3.
Right.
So he's got to get he's got to get 5 successes. Then he'll get
So
a
right,
shot.
it's 50 dice.
Now, I'm not even going to spend. I had to spend 1 doom just to allow him to try this, so I'm not going to spend any more on him doing it. Nope, doesn't make it.
Okay.
So Claw tries to come out, but your blade is too long and too fast, and you sink it in for how much damage?
So I will roll. Okay, so I'm gonna roll 4 physical damage, 4 effects generated, but I also have no mercy. I may reroll a number of melee attack dice equal to the total number of melee traits I have acquired, and I have more than 2, so
Nice.
I'm gonna reroll those 2. So I get another one. So 5 damage, 5 physical damage to the torso, and 5 effects. The weapon.
There's no effects on
There's no
broadsword.
effects. Yeah.
Okay,
No
so
effects.
5 damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, you swing out and you strike into the side of this Hound of Ymir, and you cut it hard. But it's still up. I mean, it looks injured, but it looks more angry than seriously injured.
I will call out to as a free action, Sumerian. Will I be able to beat you to this, or will you come and join me in the fray?
Nah, you taunt me, you stupid naked Rogo. Go to jump in there.
All right, Cormac, what do you do?
I was taunted. I have to do it.
So you've got 0 momentum. So if you want to target the Hound of Ymir, you've got to give me 2 doom.
I absolutely will. He's reckless. I'm bloodthirsty, and he taunted me.
I love
This
it.
has got to happen.
All
Once
right.
we're dead, the rest of them are screwed. You don't have a front line anymore.
All right, this is a good idea.
And what are you using?
I've got a battle axe.
And what's the reach on that?
I assume. Let me get into the thing. I'm not sure where I would find reach on it. I
It
assume
should-
it's just standard reach.
Well, it'll be a number.
If you click the weapon under actions, it's at the
Mhm.
bottom right above the attack. It says reach number.
I'll check real quick.
If you see his character sheet,
It's
I
a
can
2.
look at this.
It's
2.
2.
Yep, reach 2. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't seeing it. Oh, now
You're
I
good.
see it. Sorry, I had to go to details. Now I got it. Sorry. All right.
Yeah.
So
We're all
Conan,
learning. We're learning this Foundry module and the game. So
Got no momentum. I don't need no momentum. That's fine.
you give me 2. In
Nah.
addition to the 2 you already gave me.
Actually, you know what? Take one more doom.
Oh my
Ah!
god.
Now, how do I? No, actually, oh, screw it. I wrote it without it. Attack. Oh, now it does it.
Okay.
So doom. I have the same talent that Rogo does. That
Mhm.
for a momentum or for a doom, I get to add 2.
Yep, an additional. Yep.
So do I just type 2 in the doom box since it's
Yeah.
Yeah, just do that, and I'll just
Okay.
make the change here.
Right.
okay? 6 successes. Don't you taunt me, you
God.
stupid naked Rogo.
Okay, see,
I'll
you
show you
generated
how it's done.
you generated 5 momentum. I put it in there for you. What do you want to do with your 5 momentum? Or your he's not even gonna I mean, he's caught off guard by this. So the Hound of Ymir is snarling and looking at Rogo, and you come in on the other side with this battle axe and just bury it into his shoulder joint.
I'm gonna spend 3 of those on damage.
Okay.
So if I click, do I need to? Do I
Just
need to,
click damage, and where it says momentum, just put in 3, and it'll automatically take it
It'll
out. of the
automatically do it?
momentum pool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Perfect.
No.
I get to re-roll up to 3 dice. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
re-roll the 1.
I think it's fair. That's fair.
Holy
Do I just click that 1?
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
how do I make it re-roll?
Right click, and
Yep.
then
Right
you'll
click
see
it.
it pop up, and then you'll say reroll.
Re-roll selected. I see it.
Oh my God. Okay.
How many effects do we have?
3 effects.
3. Okay, so this has the battle axe has vicious and intense.
Okay, so that's you did 11, 14. So that's 2 wounds.
Perfect.
Plus the intense makes it 3 wounds. So
To the head.
Cormac, describe how you kill the Hound of Ymir. This titanic beast, the size of 2 draft horses, the size of 2 Clydesdales, half the size of a city bus. How does Cormac defeat it with virtually 1 blow?
In fairness, it's not a single blow. Rogo calls me out. I come forward in. It chops at me. I punch it in the nose, and I crawl up on top of its head, and I just chop down and 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 down over and over again until I cut about maybe like 3/4 of the head. And then I put my feet into the shoulders, and I pull back, and I wrench, and I pull the head off, and I do my best to lift it up in the air.
And that's exactly what happens. And you lift this bloody Hound of Ymir's head in the air. Blood flows down across your shoulders. Its big, meaty 12-pound brain strikes you on the face. But you have defeated it. And as soon as it dies, you see the other wolves scatter back into the woods, almost as if they weren't there of their own free will anyway. You're bloody, you're tired, but all in all, completely unharmed by an encounter that would have felled an entire squad of the Jarl's fiercest warriors. And Lagertha comes up to you, Rogo, and Cormac, and Argus, and Lenora, and she's like, "You are indeed fell warriors. Master Cormac, I have never seen the like of that. You are a warrior truly worthy of the tales."
It's very kind coming from you. You've got very strong features like your father as well. I'm glad I could be in your company. Rogo, thank you for keeping me honest. It's great. In fact, honestly, Rogo, I'm going to give you like 3 of the teeth. Because you called me out, you brought out the best in me, and I appreciate it.
I also loosened it for you.
You did. So this is like an honest kill, right?
No. Well struck. Impressive. Indeed. Maybe
You hear
be
me,
quicker
Santa
next
Claus?
time.
Honest kill.
Oh,
And so you're standing there in the sleigh with the giant carcass of a hound of Ymir bleeding all over the snow, and Calder peeks out of. He's like, "We've got to get moving again. If we're going to get to the mountain before nightfall, we've got to get moving and set up camp. This was a mistake from the beginning. I knew it. This is clearly an ill omen. A hound of Ymir. We haven't seen one of those in a generation. Clearly, we should turn back. The sage clearly is angered by our presence."
That was like 30 seconds, if anything. That was barely anything. Why are your panties in a bunch there?
Fancy lad. I say we skin this. Look at this pelt.
Oh, why don't we do it on the way back when we have a little more time?
That won't take me long.
It's nice to see you're willing to do something.
You can take the time to skin the hound of Ymir. Lagertha says, "But the mountain's not that far away, brother. They have time if they want to rest and recuperate." And so, by the way, since the action scene has ended, you recover all of your vigor or mental stress. So you guys, if you took a little damage from the fear, it goes away. The only thing that doesn't regenerate at the end of an action scene would be actual wounds or trauma that you take, and none of you came close to that.
On the one hand, maybe you're saying this is an ill omen. On the other hand, you're a skald. You tell stories. Maybe Santa Claus is making us work for it. He's going to make us come back with a great story to make people feel even bigger and stronger than before. And who's going to be willing to tell it? You are.
I will definitely tell how our own people were shamed and needed the assistance of a Cimmerian to do the work that my father's men should have done. But yes, you struck well. You struck as all barbarians do. You know how to swing an axe.
We don't need to be measuring our penises now. Let's get on
true.
with this adventure.
He's got it right. I'm a
No one
barbarian.
cares
I
who
strike
anyone's
well.
from.
I'm glad that we understand each other.
Because he turns to Olga and Hod, and he goes, "Get the sleigh turned around while they skin that beast."
wait, where are you going?
We're going nowhere. We're just turning it around and preparing to leave as soon as you do whatever it is that you heathens want to do with the carcass. I tell you that, the meat is not worth eating. I hope to God you don't plan on bringing any of that rancid.
Who's it calling a heathen captain? And she sticks her finger into like the head and goes,
Gorm is just gonna snarl at him.
Keep your wolf on a leash. And then he just hunkers down back in his furs and won't say anything else. Lagertha, though, helps you skin the hound and prepare the skin. She's like, "We'll be fine. We're only a few hours from the mountain, and it's only midday. We'll have plenty of time to get there and set camp and find water and hunt." After you skin the hound of Ymir, you get the skins packed away, and you continue to make your journey. And you're not accosted for the rest of the day. The temperature stays the bitter cold that it is, and snow continues to fall, but you make your way to the base of the mountain, and you're able there to set camp. And Adger and Hod goes about and sets camp, and there's enough supplies that you don't actually need to hunt. You can if you want, but there's no need to. But you're looking, and you look up this mountain, and it's like a sheer glacial cliff, and the late afternoon sun is shining on it and reflecting against you, and you can't even see handholds. It looks like an almost impossible climb. And then Lagertha comes over to you, Quintus. She's like, are you intending on bringing your wolf up the mountain?
You don't suggest it?
I mean, a stout companion is always a good idea, but I think there's no way for him to climb. We'll have to make some sort of harness and haul him up.
back.
Cormac. It's not the first time he's ridden on Cormac's back.
But fair enough. That's strap him tight. It's quite the climb.
There are many women who wear furs on shoulder of animals, but I have never seen one alive. Which shall be interesting.
She goes, well, I'm going to bed down for the night. The climb tomorrow is going to be quite arduous, and I want to get to my rest. We'll set a watch, and then Augur and Hod said, we'll take the last watch, the last 4 hours of the night, so that you all can get your final hour's rest before you have to climb.
Oh, I think I'll be too excited to climb. I've never climbed before. Captain, you don't I know this isn't quite like a ship.
No,
Oh,
it's not. No.
Oh, what do you think? Can I go first? Can I go on the first watch? I'll be very good. I promise.
Sure, why not? I mean, we're just in the middle of nowhere and it's freezing cold and we just got attacked by wolves. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Oh, you're so good to me, Captain.
You're a fine. Damn, you're a great father. You're the best. What a lucky little girl you have.
No, this is not my child. No, sorry. Misunderstanding here. That's my first mate, though.
Absolutely. I was just promoted on account that everybody else died on the ship. But you know what? I'm not taking that as a bad omen. I'm taking that as a positive step in the right direction, and the confidence that Captain Argus has taken in me. Thank you.
Odger, as you're taking the first watch, Odger comes over to you, Lenore, and he's like, I tell you now, no one has climbed Mount Scotty since my great-grandfather's day. It's treacherous, but the old tales say if you stick to this space here, right above these pines, and you climb straight up for perhaps 4 hours, if weather willing, you will come to the passage that is the breath of Jord, and you should have an easy time just to be able to walk through the tunnel into the Vale. That's what the old tales say.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. I look forward to it eagerly.
And your watch passes without anything. In fact, the entire night passes without any visitors, nocturnal visitors. And the morning dawn hits you, and it, if anything, is even colder as you face the mountain before you. How do you want to approach climbing it?
Would I be able to make an observation test to kind of just like get the lay of it, maybe look to see where there's maybe small little outcroppings that would be easier to traverse? And
so what we're going to do is, this is going to be a group effort again. So what it is I'm going to set the difficulty as epic. It's D5. However, you have climbing gear, so that takes it down to difficulty 4. So one of you has to lead it using athletics. In other words, one of you is the lead climber. And the others can use other potential skills to aid, like observation, helping to find. And depending on the number of successes you generate, if you successfully generate enough successes amongst the party, you'll be fine. Now, this is a situation where you can't fail. If you guys don't get enough successes, you're still going to make the climb, but you'll suffer fatigue as part of the climb.
Nice.
So if you're aiding, you only get to roll 1d20 though against whatever task it is that you're attempting. So it'll be the first die you roll. So who is going to lead this epic climb?
Cormac, who has really good athletics. I don't.
I have really good brawn, but he probably have better athletics.
I only have 17. I don't know if that's enough.
Seems paltry to me.
God, here comes the complication.
So
Yep.
He
so-
drops the dog.
Rogo, Quintus, Argus, and Lenora all can only roll one die, but Cormac, and if they get a success, those are auto successes for you. However, Cormac, you can use momentum, but you are down to 1 because it's a new scene. Or you
Okay.
can give me Doom if you want to get up to 5 dice. So their assists don't count against the 5 dice total.
Okay.
But our successes just count for
As
successes for the
successes.
challenge, not for him to
Yep.
get an extra
Okay.
dice.
Okay.
Exactly.
I will use my observation. There's an
No,
assist
wait,
button.
you
Let's see
do-
how it
you
works
do
here.
survival, and I'll do observation because I don't have any survival. But I'm better at
What? But my observation's 18. That's my best skill.
You guys will be fine.
What
Like I said, you can't fail.
I can do my survival's 16. What's your
Well, I can re-roll observation. I have a talent.
what's your score?
8.
I'm at 18. It's like a
Reroll on an
guaranteed
8.
success here. I'm gonna.
Well, I can re-roll. That was my only thing I was going with.
And you can use any skill that makes sense.
There you go. So he's sitting there and he's looking. There, Cormac, you go there. There's a little outcropping. You can rest, and then you can go over there to the left, and then go up the and there's some better footholding there.
So you've already got 1 success.
Okay, Argus is gonna go with stealth to avoid like collapsing or an avalanche, like for us to be quiet as we climb to not have any unnecessary. Does that make sense? No.
It's a real hard stretch, but it's a Christmas one shot, so yes, it makes
Hey, we're on an icy mountain.
Classic Evan.
Santa Claus blesses us.
Hey-ya!
Praise Mitra.
Okay, so the 3 is 1 success.
Yeah, I didn't mean to roll a second one, but
No, that's fine. You're fine. We'll just take the
If you
first
hit the
die if it
assist
rolls
button
2.
when you go to roll, it'll only roll the 1.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I'm a rebel.
So, Rogo, Lenora, what are you going to try? Or you don't have to try anything, because if you do get a complication, it will be
Right.
worse.
Rogo will try to follow Cormac from behind, and I want to use acrobatics, not my greatest skill, but the one that makes the most sense. I want to try to use acrobatics to maybe kind of reach and grab, make sure that any sort of pitons or anything we're putting in. So I'm hopping from one to the next, kind of following in his wake.
Doing like the Uncharted style, like
Exactly. I said,
totally-
I'm wise.
Totally accept this for a one shot. Wait till the campaign.
oh
How-
no.
Yes. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Click the box.
Yeah, there's a box.
Yeah,
Six-
all right.
Hey, we have 3 successes. So
You guys
far.
have not
Nice.
gotten any complications yet. This will be
So-
fun. Now,
There we
Lenora,
go. Here we go.
you do not have to try to assist if you want. You only need 4 successes. And if Cormac gets no successes, all of your assists don't matter anyway. So if he gets 1 success, you guys succeed.
So can he go first and then I'll go?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Cormac, athletics. Do you want to spend that momentum to get an extra die? Do you want to give me any doom?
I feel like I should spend the momentum just in case.
I love it.
So I'll do that. I'll click athletics. 1 momentum. What's the
That's
worst that could happen?
Complication.
Woo!
Yeah. I'll just take 5 successes.
5 successes, you generate
Holy
4
crap.
momentum.
We had 8 successes.
So you got 4 momentum back, and the team effort, you're able to get everyone and Ligera and Calder up the side of the mountain in such a smooth and effortless way, with making the appropriate stops and taking the appropriate rest breaks, that by the time you pull yourselves over the lip of this great circular tunnel, it's about 20 feet in diameter, and it looks like maybe it was a lava tube. You have no idea how this perfectly circular tunnel was made. Maybe some ancient technology or Atlantean sorcery, but this icy tube goes off into the distance. and you're all feeling pretty fit, pretty spry. It actually only took you about 3 hours to get up here, so it's still mid-morning. So it was a fast, effortless climb. And once again, Ligera says, "You are all amazing. I would have said no one could have made that climb in less than 5 hours, and here you are, breathing easy after just a few hours climb. Amazing."
Quintus has great eyes. Rogo,
Yeah.
he'll do anything. Rogo's crazy. I love him. Argus there, he's like,
So quiet we were, so quiet.
he really was.
Then the first great gust of wind hits you coming through this tunnel, this frozen wind. And I need everybody to make a resistance test. Difficulty 3.
Oh no.
Oh,
Mitra
my.
wept.
Wait, what is this? Sorry, resistance difficulty 3?
Difficulty
Resistance,
3.
Difficulty 3.
Gosh darn it.
I will use momentum.
You have 4 momentum, and
Oh,
you can
yeah, I'm
give
using
me
a momentum.
you can give me Doom. Remember too.
I haven't used one yet. Momentum
Difficulty
1?
3, huh?
So
Difficulty
everybody's
3.
taking momentum.
This is a horrible Arctic blast of wind.
I'm going to take 2 momentum. I don't
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have. Oh Jesus.
care.
All right.
Oopsie
Couple
daisy.
complications.
Wait, how much? We have 2 momentums.
My
0. Wait,
nipples.
do you want to
You
use?
got, you got one more momentum. I just got 4 successes.
You want to use it,
Okay,
Jeremy?
I'll take one if there's one left, or I'll take a doom.
Oh, we generated. Wait, we generated 2 extra from those rolls. So we have
Yep.
3.
No, I forgot to set the difficulty change. That's right.
Ah,
Because
okay.
it's
Yep.
difficulty.
We
three.
we
You got
only
one
have
from me.
extra one.
You do have-
So
there
you
is
use
one
I'll
there.
use one.
Okay, cool. I'll use one.
I gave
Here,
you
add one. Someone add one in.
I gave you
Or-
2 doom, Aaron. It doesn't automatically go on there, does it? So give yourself 2 doom.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, I gave you one also.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, Cormac's
And
okay.
can you
Finally-
add the momentum back in so I can?
My
Yes.
nipples are like tiny little rocks.
There
I'm
you go.
not gonna look stupid in front of these other
Son of a bitch!
Nice. Okay. So Cormac is okay. Everybody else.
Quintus is
failed.
okay.
Quintus is okay. Yes. So Rogo, Lenora, and Argus. You take
Argus.
Argus. You all take 2 points of fatigue.
Oh, what does that mean?
So that reduces your maximum vigor by 2. So I think in that little square, the little circle in the upper left hand
Oh,
corner,
I see it.
I
Yeah.
think if you put 2 in there, it'll reduce
Yep,
it
yep,
by
yep.
2. Everybody else who failed takes 1 point of fatigue as this freezing cold leeches the very warmth out of your body. Of course, Cormac, used to the cold, does not suffer, and Quintus, also, used to harsher conditions, is fine. But the rest of you are feeling the bite of this wind as you make your way through this tunnel. And it takes about an hour of this wind, and it's a cumulative effect. I mean, you got this after pushing through this wind, through this tunnel. And as you're getting closer, you can see daylight on the other side, and you see at the end of this tunnel a statue, an 18-foot statue, you would guess, of a man with a shield on one arm and a great battle axe on the other, dressed in armor and furs and a great helmet. And the closer you get, you get an uneasy feeling. And you realize he's a little bit out of the tunnel in the veil. And then you see his head move. And you see him bang his battle axe against his shield. And you realize that that's a frost giant in front of you, barring your way into the veil.
By Mitch.
Well, now I know everyone's strategy. I will just go last and take the kill.
Now you guys are at by the time he moves, you're at medium range.
I'll go
28,
first this
dude.
time.
Nice.
I will volley arrows at him.
Nice.
So what gives me a +1/+1, right?
Yes.
So I'm at optimal range at medium.
You're at medium range, you're at optimal range.
The suspense. Ooh.
Ooh, 4 successes. That's nice. So he's going to try to parry anyway. So he brings his shield up as he sees these arrows coming at him. And I'm gonna spend some doom.
It's gonna spend 16 doom.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got enough
You
doom
can only-
there to avoid
Maximum
this
dice. On maximum dice is 5 still.
Mm.
But he gets
Oh my
eight,
god.
8 successes. So all the arrows thump into his shield.
Ah,
And then I'm going to spend 1 more point of doom. And he returns the favor and throws an ice javelin back at you.
Oh no!
You can use
Rip.
acrobatics to attempt to dodge.
okay,
this.
but roll your attack. Let's see how many successes you get. This will determine
And,
whether or not I die right here and now.
I'm not going to spend any doom to add extra dice at the moment. I'm just whipping it at you. 1 complication, but 1 success.
1 success.
Ah.
Okay.
So that complication, I'm going to give you a point of momentum for that complication.
Okay.
So you guys have 4 momentum.
I'm gonna spend 2 momentum.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
I'm assuming ice javelins hurt.
Okay, and I'll put 2 more. I'll put 2. Oh, there should have been 2 left in there because there was 4 and I took 2. Sorry. So
Okay.
we're back up to 4.
Okay, and you successfully dodge out of the way. And then he takes his move action to back up and sort of move out of the mouth of the tunnel.
By Mitra.
So, Rogo, Cormac, Argus, Lenora, you're up.
Oh yeah, we all get to go first, right?
Yeah, you all get to go now. He interrupted you. He spent doom to seize the initiative, but
Okay.
now he's gone. So
Gorm, sick balls.
Yes.
he's at medium range. So you'd have to do the sprint action to move into close range with him if you wanted to.
And that would be your major action, or
that is your standard action. But you could then spend 2 points of momentum to take a second standard action at +1 difficulty.
And for pairing for you, do you just have to spend multiple dooms? And
Correct.
But we
I
don't get a
spend-
momentum. You just spend your doom.
I just spend doom.
So you could parry all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
one of the things about this, though, he is a nemesis level character, so he gets reactions, but not all creatures do.
Gotcha.
Minions and typically Tuppen don't get reactions. It's just the higher level creatures that can spend doom on reactions. But he is one of them, so yes. And he has his guard, and his reach is 4. So you would have to spend additional momentum or doom to break his guard, or be at a difficulty of 5 to hit him with most weapons. 4 with some.
I'm trying to think of what we should do.
We need to charge.
Okay, so if we sprint, you said if we did a standard action to sprint, we could get to him, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. You can get into close range with him, yes.
I will open up this game, and he'll sprint forward using a standard action to sprint, and then I'm gonna spend 2 momentum to break his guard.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay.
Right, I have a minor action, but oh,
You have to. You can only break the guard as part of an attack. So
so I have to put 2. I have to spend 2 to attack again and 2 to break guard.
that is true. It would
Oh
take
my
all your momentum.
Do it. Do it.
All right,
Do it. Do
I'll
it.
do it.
Or
And then
alternatively, you could give me Doom if you wanted. But
oh, true. And I still get to do damage with breaking the guard. I'm just like getting that extra effect.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
no?
you break the guard and then do your attack. So it's
Gotcha.
basically you move past his battle axe and shield, and you get inside his guard.
Oh yeah, I
attack.
start running up his axe because it's
You-
so freaking big.
There you
Now,
Um,
now I will tell you this: you don't necessarily. So you have to spend the 2 momentum
Mhm.
and to break his guard, and the 2 momentum for the extra attack. But once you're inside his guard, you get bonus D20 for the difference in his guard range and your guard range.
Oh,
'cause
so my
it's-
reach versus his reach.
Yeah. Now his shield is 2, and his axe is 4, so it would be against 2 because he's got reach 2 and reach 4. So it probably wouldn't offset it too much
No,
unless
I've
you're
reached
using a
2.
reach. Okay, if you're using a reach 2, it's not going to change anything. But you're inside his guard, and
Okay.
you'd be able to attack.
So you can reduce the momentum then, and I'll go for it. I'll break the guard so that way.
Yeah,
And that's for everybody though, not just me, right? Or
No,
is
that's
it
just for you. You've
Just for
moved
you.
Oh my
past
God,
it.
I thought I was trying to break it for you guys. That was my plan.
Nope.
Clearly
It's
not
okay.
working. But
You
all right,
need
here we
to
go.
disarm him for everybody else.
Whoa!
You could try to do that. That's
You could
would be
disarm.
3 points of momentum.
No, I already spent all the momentum because I have to spend 2 to
All right,
sprint and then
yep.
2 to break.
No,
And
you
he's just
spent,
still he's
you sprinted for free. You spent 2 momentum to break his guard, 2 momentum for the second standard action.
gotcha. Okay.
So yes, you are at 0 momentum, but you could spend as much. You want to give me as much doom as you want.
I'm gonna give you 1 doom and I'll get an extra die.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh wait. Oh, can you put a momentum in there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
It's freaking out.
There you
Aaron,
go.
did you say he's in medium range?
Oh Jesus.
Oh wow, yeah. He is in medium range, but he's moved to the side, so you don't have a clear shot at him. But you can take one action to move and then have a clear shot at him.
So you get doom or
You're
Or a
aft.
complication. I think the complication is you go into swing, and this is so overwhelming to you that you drop your weapon.
oh no, that's the worst thing you could have said.
I know. 'Cause it takes an action. Well, take a minor action. Your move action to pick it back up. But yeah, you fumble your weapon. It's the feat of the frost giant. But he's taken his action. So you did get 1 success. You only needed 1 success.
So it still hits, right? It's just afterwards it falls off.
Well, he's gonna spend 1 doom
I'm parrying.
to try to parry you. So we'll see.
I imagine he will succeed. Oh,
He did 1 success.
but does he need 2 or does he need 1?
Actually,
He
I think
to
it goes
beat
to
me?
the attacker. So I think
I thought he had to
you
beat
get,
me,
You
yeah.
get the
Nice.
damage. Yeah.
Woo! it didn't
Maybe it's just that your
beat
weapon
me.
got
That's what I
in
get
him.
for not adding doom to the. You get extra
Right. It
dice.
was stuck in his ankle.
Yeah, maybe you hit him and
Cankle.
you
Get him
That-
that skankle.
dig in deep and you're not able to pull it out.
You really need to do more calf raises. 5 damage to the arm.
To the arm. And do you have any effects on your weapon?
No, just paring blade.
Okay. All right, so it bites into his arm, and the blade gets hung up in his armor, and is dangling there. And you're defenseless against him. Who's next?
Okay. If Cormac's not gonna go, I'll go in,
But
I guess.
If somebody had a ranged option, I'm up for it. But if not, I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he steps to the side, we can't really see him, so
Mm-hmm.
can't
Take
really
a-
do the range.
Yeah, you can take your move action, and then you'd be able to see him. So basically, you're moving up and to the side, and then you'd have a line of sight
Okay.
on him.
But we do have to take us because the sprint is moving to any point in long range, and
Yep.
movement is moving within medium range. So he's at long range then.
Yes.
So I will. Okay, I will.
Because he took that movement action. He took his movement action to move back into the side.
Yeah.
So my normal action, my standard action, I will rush in, recklessly, and then I will use. I will use a fortune point to get a second action without the because with the fortune point you don't get the increased difficulty, right?
That
one.
is correct. That is correct.
To stab him because this time I'm going in with daggers. I'm just trying out the different weapons.
Are you going to try to break his guard, or are you just going in?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even understand the break guard stuff.
So basically, he's basically got his battle axe and shield out, and you're coming at him. So you have to get inside of his reach. So you give one of the circumstances, you give me 2 points of doom, and it basically it's a matter of like you ducking under his weapon and then getting inside so that you're at his
Or the
gut.
difficulty is just more than 1. Is
Yeah.
the consequence
It'd be like
of it?
trying to
Yep.
come attack a
Yep.
giant because he's got so much reach. It'd be really hard to get in close.
Yeah, so his reach with his weapon is 4. So to break his guard, if you don't try to break his guard, then it's his highest reach versus your reach, and that would increase the difficulty by 3. So your minimum difficulty to hit would be a 4.
Yikes.
You got that crazy talent. to get around reach, right?
Yeah, but the best I can do is 3.
Mm.
So
Hey, you got Stretch
even with that-
Armstrong arms.
so-
Mr. Fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, so because I'm looking at like the break guard thing, that's an attack action.
Yeah, so it's part of your attack. So you
Okay.
like you spend the 2 momentum or give me the 2 doom as part of your attack to get past his guard.
But if
and then
you're-
do the
Yeah,
attack.
I'll do that then. Yeah.
But if he's spending the fortune point, can he ignore the reach? Isn't that what you
Nope.
ignore the difficulty? I thought.
You don't get the extra difficulty for taking a second standard action. But since you're using daggers, you actually get a bonus D20 because his reach is 2 on his shield and your reach is 1, so you get a free D20 on the attack.
Yeah, I will give you. So yeah, I'll give you the doom to get past his guards. It's still 2. I'll still use the fortune because I don't want to increase the difficulty.
So you get a free D20 on your attack.
Okay. So then, all right. So let me do dagger. Where is it? There it is. So I get +1 D20. And what's the difficulty I'm going for? Is it just 1 or is it 3?
Just 1.
or-
Just 1.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because you're inside his guard, so back to normal.
Okay. 2 successes, so gets back 1 momentum.
Nice.
And then damage wise,
Well, he is going to go ahead and
Oh, yeah,
spend a point of doom to try to block that.
This guy's a troll.
And he'll
It's
spend
giant.
2 more points of
I believe it's a
2 more
giant.
points of doom to give himself a little extra odds.
Jesus.
Oh, you just gained
God.
4 doom?
Yeah. So you come in with your daggers and he just brings the edge of this shield down in front of you and you just pop against this shield that's 10 feet high. He's like, who's up?
Does
I mean-
Lenora have range?
But you're in tight now. So, I mean, you and Argus are both inside his guard. So on his turn, he would have to take an action to regain. He'd have to take his minor action to regain his guard.
Hmm.
So you don't have to break his guard next time.
But
if he
that's
doesn't
just for
do
the
that.
single person who's in the broken guard,
Right.
right?
If the 2 of you have broke his guard, so you're already you're inside.
Yeah. Okay.
So Cormac, Lenora,
Trying to look up how the disarm stuff works. I apologize.
it's a momentum spend. So it's you successfully attack, and for him you'd have to spend 3 momentum to disarm.
Ish.
Well, you're looking
Oh,
at
I see it.
Gorm will just run within range. I'm not going to spend... Well, we don't have any momentum, but he'll just run up there to attack next round.
You got 1 momentum. Okay.
So seeing the captain so bravely rush in to meet this, taken a little back. This is her first frost giant she's ever seen. She takes a deep breath, goes, "Captain, I'm coming," and she runs. Just so I'll use my bit to run. And I'll give you 2 doom to break his guard.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and retrieve the captain's sword.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
Cabin boy over here.
How would I do that?
Okay, so this is a skill check instead of your attack action. So what you're going to do, let's call it either acrobatics or athletics, either one. Difficulty. We'll just make it difficulty 1. You're just grabbing it off the ground, and if you get bonus successes, you'll be able to. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
Okay. So you scoop down to pick it up, but this thing is just looming over you, and you freeze for a moment. You're just right there at the weapon, and you just feel this monstrous form just hovering over you, and you can't for that second move. Cormac.
I don't have enough momentum to do what I wanted to do.
Now you can give me Doom.
Damn.
I can. So clearly I'll sprint in. I'll have to use 1 momentum and then 1 doom to even do anything to the guy.
Okay.
For my second action. And then, I want to disarm him. I feel like that's the smart thing to do, but I'm bloodthirsty. I really just want to chop him. So instead, I'm just going to chop him.
Okay, I'm gonna try to break his guard.
Yeah, I should. I'll give you 2 more
Okay.
doom.
All right.
This is a good plan. This is a great idea.
I love it.
All right.
Oh no, he's just gonna parry.
Okay.
He
So this
probably will.
this is his third attempt to parry, so it does cost me 3 doom to attempt it, but he will attempt it.
Just so I can generate 8.
And they will
Yeah.
spend 3 more doom on the dice.
No. Well,
He
And
will-
they
yeah.
get 4 successes, so it's just
So you come in and he just brings the shield around and bashes you away. I mean, this is a frost giant. He's been fighting
fair,
since
yeah.
before your grandfather was born. And I think that brings us back to the top of the order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now 4 of you are inside his guard,
Yeah.
and Gorm is now up there, and Quintus is laying back with his bow. What do you do?
Well, I need to pick up my sword before, so I'll go first because if I don't have my sword,
I
and
was-
he swipes at me. I
was gonna say I can give him doom and I can try to disarm him with my attack, and then you guys can do your thing.
that sounds pretty awesome.
But we need to get the shield out too. We need both weapons.
Well-
both gone.
It says what? Costs 2 momentum if the target is holding a weapon in one hand, 3 momentum if the weapon is braced in 2 hands. So what? 2 momentum to get
3 momentum because he's a giant.
It's a big old. Okay.
And it's just an attack, right?
It's just an attack.
Okay.
With the 3 bonus momentum or doom to if you hit, you spend the additional to disarm.
Right. Like if it's a hit, then you just spend it and it automatically disarms him, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll try to disarm him before you guys attack. And then he can't parry you guys, right? Unless you...
Well, he can with the
immediately
shield.
kicks his-
The shield. That's what I'm
Ah,
saying.
the
He's
shield.
attacking with one and
Yeah,
parrying
yeah,
with
Probably
yeah.
the shield is what's making him better at parrying.
Okay, can
Oh,
I
much better. Much
try
better
to
at
get
parry.
him to drop his shield?
Because we're already within
Sure.
the range of the axe. I think dropping the shield is probably more beneficial.
And we would get
Yeah.
bonus dice because we would have a better.
Because the
Yeah,
axe
yeah.
is so long.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you'd
yeah.
actually
You
get
would
better
you would
bonuses.
you'd all get 3 bonus D20.
I
every-
will spend a fortune to ensure this happens. How about that?
Oh my God.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's-
All right. All
I
right.
feel like it's wise.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Get him.
Okay, so you guys have 4 momentum now, so I don't even need to... Actually, I don't need to give him any doom. Can I... Do you guys mind if I spend 3 of the 4 I generated?
Oh, you think you should? Yeah.
To disarm? Okay,
Sure.
so I'm going to spend 3 of the 4 I generated. I am going to make him drop his shield. I'll fire an arrow and hit him
And
and
since you
expose part of his... Like in the shoulder, we'll say, maybe, and he drops his shield to the ground.
And since you spent a fortune point on it, I'm not even going to try to parry that with his shield. You see the arrow come through, and it hits him right in the shoulder joint, and you must have just got right through a ligament or something, and his arm just kind of goes dead for a second, and the shield falls away. But that angered him, so he's going to spend 1 doom
Damn it.
to seize the initiative, and he's going to swing his axe. Well, he's going to take his minor action to regain his guard, and he's going to swing his axe at Cormac.
That's
Oh,
fair.
no.
At least it's not me. I don't have a sword. Oh, it's gonna hurt.
And he's going to spend a couple of doom to get a couple extra dice.
Oh, you got a lot of doom.
Dead.
I do have 26 points of doom at the moment. So,
Mm.
Yep.
all right. Now remember, you can parry.
I do,
Use
and
that
my
momentum if you need it.
Okay, my shield gives me.
3? Okay.
He only got 3 successes. Only got 3 successes.
Do we get a
So-
momentum for the complication?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, there you go.
So what is the shield 2 quality on the shield cover? Is
So that
just
gives-
less momentum.
No, it gives you 2 points of armor cover, basically, in
Okay.
addition to your armor. So it's armor soak.
Okay, so I still have to spend momentum to try to parry.
You give him doom.
Or you can spend momentum.
Oh
You
yeah,
get 2
yeah,
points of
okay.
momentum.
You just spend 1 to parry.
You can spend as many points as you want to add, just like an attack. So, like if you want to spend 2 points to get 2 extra d20, you can.
Oh, to the parry
Okay.
roll. Okay.
Gotcha. So I'll parry. I tell you, just put 2 into it because it's probably horrible.
Well, it's,
But I
mean,
also
it's a he
have
can
to
hit
beat
pretty hard
4.
with this if you don't.
So it's up to you.
have to beat 4, so it's kind of almost doesn't even matter. I'm not gonna. I only have a parry at 10. I'm not gonna beat 4. At that point, why waste the team's momentum? But by parrying, I give myself the 2 armor, right?
Well, you get the 2 armor regardless. You get the
Okay.
armor protection regardless. You get the soak regardless.
Not horrible, but that's up to you totally.
I hate to waste the team's momentum on
It's
a 50-50.
not. It's not a waste.
Okay, you know what? It's not a waste. It's not a waste.
It's not a
It's
waste.
Not a
not
waste.
a waste.
It's gonna
not-
be a waste.
No, it's not a waste.
It's not a waste.
Not a waste. And 3 momentum generated. Oh, no, I guess the difficulty
No.
wasn't set.
Yeah, no, yeah. So
Sorry.
with
So it'll be
the
1 generated.
4 successes, yeah, you generate 1 point of momentum. It's the difference, and you successfully parry.
God damn it!
I'm gonna roll the damage just because I want to know. I just got to know. What it would've
I
been.
am scared.
Oh,
Oh, it would
Oh,
have been bad. It would have been 8 plus 3 vicious, so it would have been 11, and it's intense, so it would have been 11 damage, 2 wounds. Well, you would have soaked some of it, so you'd have been probably 2 wounds. It would have hurt, but you
This is-
parried it. This giant battle
parry
axe
it.
comes down, and Cormac just you muscle it out of the way, and this frost giant is literally dumbfounded at this, taken aback by it actually, and
I'm being honest. That kind of pisses me off a little bit because my shoulders feel a
And-
little bit numb.
And I'm going to say that the complication that triggered there actually was by you parrying it. He was so taken back by the parry and by losing his shield that regardless of what happens with this next attack, he's not going to try to parry it. He's caught off guard. He's wide open.
I very much want to attack him then.
I won't stop you.
So you've got 1 momentum left.
And you can feel free to give me doom.
I can. Well, I've got a thing where I could spend the 1 momentum, and it actually is 2. I'm not sure the best way to do that.
But
Do we just
remember,
cheat?
you've got to break his guard again.
Yeah, so you have to give him 2 doom.
Okay, so I'll give you 2 doom.
Okay.
It's just like a
because you could use the momentum on damage also, right? It's like
Mhm.
extra
Yeah.
point of guaranteed
Extra
damage.
dice.
So
Yeah,
I
so-
want to make
'cause-
sure to roll the extra dice to attack, because spending 1 momentum or 1 doom will get me an extra dice rolled. On
That's
the
right.
Attack.
That's right.
Yeah. He's
So-
not parrying, so you just need 1 success.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything
So-
extra
Intense and
is-
vicious.
I'll just
And remember, what's the reach of your weapon?
2.
So you already get 2 bonus d20 on your
Oh,
attack
true,
because you're
true.
inside his guard. So you're rolling 4 d20 to start with no momentum cost.
Oh, okay. Then I should just go for the.
Yeah, go for
I'll just go for a regular roll.
yeah.
Okay. So how do I get that bonus? Oh, I put that in the bonus d20s. I see. it.
Yeah, just put 2.
Okay, I got it now. Sorry.
Nice.
Nice.
Do it
Nice.
damage. Take that for damage. We need this.
All of it.
Yeah, do 3.
All of it.
Add 3 dice.
Well, I almost.
Well, we
wanna
got
save
4
two of it
momentum,
so I
don't we?
can-
Oh yeah, we have an extra one. You can do 4.
Because if I save 2 momentum, if I do a wound, I can automatically do an extra wound.
So maybe just do 2 of them.
Yeah, I'll do 2 and save. I'll
See
keep
what
2.
happens.
So where do I go? Oh, I need to scroll back up.
Because we know he's a nemesis, right? So he's gonna have extra wounds.
Extra life.
So I'll put 2 momentum into the damage.
And remember, if your weapon does not have the piercing quality, you can use penetration, which is a momentum spend to bypass armor. So
Okay,
so
I'm gonna click 3 of these to re-roll.
To the head.
So it's gonna be 10 damage. Do I have any effects? 11 damage.
You have vicious, don't you?
Yes.
And intense,
So that's what.
right?
So 11 to
Yeah.
the right arm.
Vicious and intense.
Ooh, that's where I hit too last time.
so 11 to the right arm, so you sink in. His armor does soak some of it, but it is intense, right?
Yep.
So you do 2 wounds to him, and he is looking very rough.
I'd like to spend
His
2.
arm is almost chopped off at this point.
I'd like to spend 2 more momentum.
I get into the arm. I push in. I spend the 2 more momentum to just grab the back of his arm and just start twisting it around, trying to find a tendon and do 1 more wound.
With
Okay.
what was that? There, I need to look up my talent for what that's called. I think it's called No Mercy. No, that's not No Mercy. Maybe
Maybe
it's
Mercy's the
Killing Strike.
reroll of damage.
It's Killing Strike. Yeah.
So what's
he'll-
Killing Strike?
Killing Strike is you spend 2 momentum if you've done a wound to do an extra wound.
Okay, so you do that. So you grab a hold and describe what it's like when you tear this frost giant's arm off and he bleeds out at your feet.
So I've already chopped into the arm, then I grab him to the shoulder, and I just have the battle axe. I turn it around. You've got the long curved side on one end. You've got the spiky side on the other end, right? I put the spiky end right in the bicep. I climb up, and I just take the other end, and I rake it up all along down the street, right? And I just split him open, and he just bleeds everywhere like crazy.
And he falls. I mean, a shocked look on his face as his features go slack in death. Never expecting to have been felled by a group of small creatures like yourselves. And you have done, once again, almost the impossible as Ligera runs up to you, Cormac, and she goes, "First a hound of Ymir, then a child of Ymir? You Cimmerians are far fiercer than I had even heard tales we shall tell of this, eh, Calder?" And Calder is just looks pale. He's like, "This was a mistake. This was such a mistake to come here." But as you look past the body of the frost giant, you see into the veil, and you see a building, a shimmering building. At one moment, it looks like it's a keep of jagged angles and basalt and black iron. And in the next moment, it flickers, and it looks like a great hunting lodge with smoke curling up out of the chimney, flickering back and forth between these two images. What do you do?
Oh, are we going there?
It's at the house of
Probably
Santa
would.
Claus.
Yar!
Maybe. In fairness, you should know I'm only alive because you gave me the shield. So that's awesome.
Well, if all it took was a shield for warriors to be as great as you, we would be the fiercest people in all the land. No, you brought much more to that than a simple shield.
Let's go find Santa Claus. We'll tell him how honestly I killed things.
Well,
Just
the sage, we shall just get us in, and my brother and I will entreat with the Sage of Winter, with Sinterklaas, and hopefully he will turn his eyes and gaze back upon our village.
Just a question. What color is the frost giant's blood by chance?
It's red. It's red blood.
Okay. So Lenore's gonna go up, stick her finger in it. It's blood.
Don't ask me. I'm not.
Oh,
what is wrong with your companion,
Oh.
Argus?
Calder shakes his head. He's like, "What kind of people? Never mind.
Not related at all.
Let's just get in there and deal with this horrible mistake."
What's wrong with your daughter,
There's
Argus?
nothing wrong with it. I used to hear that they had peppermint blood. So, I'm glad to hear it confirmed that it's regular blood.
You think that this gigantic ice thing would have different colored blood? I was anticipating blue, so I was shocked that it
I
was.
know, right? I was about to eat some of the snow too. To see what-
Gorm is just lapping up the blood with next to you, Lenora.
Sure.
Just Lenora and Gorm eating blood.
Extremely disturbing scene we're witnessing right now.
Ligera does sort of shake her head at that. She's like, "I think we should just make haste into the lodge or the
Yarr.
keep, or I don't understand exactly what's going on here, but he should be there within this edifice, whatever it is."
Okay, let's move on.
You make your way up towards the steps. One moment it's these black granite steps leading up to this obsidian and black iron keep, and the next moment it's a wooden staircase, highly polished, leading into a hunting lodge. It flickers back and forth, never settling on one reality for more than a heartbeat or two. But as you move finally through the corridor, and you see nothing else, no one else, no creatures, no beings, but you move into a great audience chamber. And in that place, reality is locked. And you're in a big meeting room, a great feast hall of a beautiful hunting lodge, and there's a giant fireplace and hearth in the middle, and there's a raised dais, and on it there's a great wooden chair covered in furs, and sitting upon that chair is an old man with a long white beard, going slightly heavy at the waist, but he's got strong features and a merry cast to his face. He's wearing a red fur-lined cloak. At one hand, he's got a shepherd's crook, and in the other, leaning against him, is a heavy cudgel, an iron-bound cudgel. But he's sheathed in a great thick wall of ice surrounding him and this throne. And then you see from behind it this long, spindly white arm reach out with great black claws, and you see them scraping symbols in the ice, and then sort of sinuously oozing from around it, you see a face, a long, gaunt face with eyes the color of egg yolk and great ram's horns curling around, and a beard made of yellowed bone. And he pulls himself more fully around, and he's wearing a raw horsehair cassock with great chains wrapped around his arms and dragging down near his feet, and his hooves are cloven. And he's cocking his head as one claw continues to scribe runes in the ice, and he almost turns his neck completely around. So although that his back is to you, he is facing you. And he says, "Oh, you finally come to bargain for the favors of winter, have you? Has the Jarl sent you? Well, I hate to tell you, but the Sage of Winter is indisposed at the moment, and well, someone else will have to hear your pleas. Yes, Strobart is the master of this hall now. Santa Claus stole so much from me over the last generation. No, it is I that you will speak with now. So make your case. Oh, in fact, don't waste my time with your case. I don't even want to know what you have to offer. Let me tell you what you shall give me. Every Yule, you shall send sacrifices up here to me, flesh and blood, bone and misery, gold and jewels. And those who sacrifice to me will not have my eyes turn upon them during Yule. No, you will not have the misfortune that Strobart brings visited upon you. Is it a deal? Do you accept? Return to your old ways, my friends. Raid and pillage. Take slaves and bring them to me. I know you mercenaries care not for any of this, so I'll make you a separate deal. You children of the Jarl, take my missive back, my deal back to your father, and return to your ways. And the rest of you, I will open Santa Claus's treasury for you, and you can take whatever you can carry away. As long as you agree to tell all that you see from henceforth that Santa Claus has turned his eyes away from this world, that he believes only in misery now, and that they must pay tribute to Strobart, the custodian of the Vale of Winter. What say you?
Turn and look at our companions, looking to them for an answer.
And Ligera is infuriated. She's sputtering with rage. And Calder just has a bland look on his face.
He said bring slaves, so it's
enough for Cormac.
all done.
That's a very interesting offer. I just want to ask you a question about it.
Yes. So am I to understand then that you're going to say no to me? It's perfectly all right. As you speak, you already see the images around the dais shifting, and out from a momentary image of this black basalt keep, this dead thing moves. It looks like a corpse that's pulled itself up out of the frozen ground with glowing blue eyes and a broken jaw, carrying a shield on one arm and a sword that appears to be made of pure ice. And behind it trope 4 frozen skeletons.
Sorcery.
I am spending a point of doom.
That's fair.
And let's see what happens here first. Cormac, I need you to make me an observation check.
That's gonna fail so hard.
You never know.
You never know. What is that under?
Cormac the
Awareness.
observant.
Awareness?
He does
What is
need
that
to
under?
know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He does need to know.
See?
Oh.
1 success. Okay. 5 successes.
Oh my
What a
God.
complication. So behind you, Cormac, you feel this intense pain in your lower back as a great dagger grinds between your ribs and up into your kidneys as Calder strikes. And since you were unaware of the attack, you do not get to parry it.
Damn.
He just gets to do it.
That's fair.
Doom.
He gets 6 successes on his attack. That's bad for you.
That is
Um,
really bad.
Like it's 5 bonus dice?
Yeah, we all knew that dude was bad news, but
Yeah.
I was waiting the entire time for somebody to make an observation or insight roll against him to figure him out before this attack
That
happened. but
would be no fun.
nobody
yeah.
did. Yeah.
we all knew. But it's a one shot. You let it roll.
Okay, so he is actually trained as an assassin. So
Oh,
this
good.
attack, he used an exploit as a free action as part of his ambush.
Uh-huh.
So the effect is piercing 2.
Good. That's gonna outdo any armor I have.
Right, your shield or whatever you had.
Yep. My shield get me up to a massive 4 armor.
Well, yeah.
He could roll
So-
bad.
You could
He
roll
could
bad.
roll bad.
But then he could also re-roll the bad.
Can you use Doom to reroll as GM in this one?
Can I use Doom to reroll? Yeah, I actually can.
Re-roll
Ooh.
damage dice.
Ouch.
Yeah. But
Jesus.
he's
Go.
probably not going to do that.
Oh,
Oh, he might. 4 physical, 2 effects.
so it still pierces your armor, but it's only
Yeah.
4 damage.
He is going to re-roll those.
Sorry.
There we go. This is where it's coming.
Okay,
That's not bad.
6.
6 damage. But it is vicious. So
So
that's and he's an assassin. So actually, every dice he rolls is an effect.
Oh
forgot
my
that.
god.
no.
So hold on, I forgot I got to take the
And
doom
this-
away for all that.
We die with Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So
Cormac is
you take 14 points of damage, bypassing your armor because the piercing is enough to get past your armor. And it is intense because it's an exploit. So you
What's-
take
3 wounds.
you take 3 wounds.
I don't even know what
Now,
that means.
What was your vigor?
I had 17, so I'm still up.
Okay, so you got 3 vigor, and you take 3 wounds, and his weapon is also fearsome 2. So you take 3 wounds and 2 traumas.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So you lose 10 resolve as well.
Okay, so I only have 10 resolve.
Okay, so you have 3 traumas and 3 wounds.
Okay.
And then he will spend 2 more doom to take a second standard action
Okay.
and move back. So he's moving back out of engagement range with you.
As a level 1 character, I think we should scoop up Cormac and go slide down the mountain on the giant's body. Get out of here.
So, but he spent his doom to do that. You see the skeletons approaching you. Strobard is continuing to write ruins into, and he's cackling. He's like, I must finish the ritual. Santa Claus cannot rise. I must make sure that he does not rise.
Okay. Who
So
wants
if
to
I'm
go?
at
guys are
0
up.
resolve, do I go down, basically?
No. You have to take 5 wounds to die. Now, there are
Okay.
some very important things. You can spend a fortune point to automatically recover all of your vigor or all of your resolve. You can also take a full standard action to recover damage. So what it is you do it's a resistance roll against your and you recover 2 points plus 2 for every point of momentum. So there are ways to heal, or somebody can run up and heal you, and they heal you of 3 plus 3 for every point of momentum spent. So there are ways to recover healing, but no, four wounds is you're just really beat up. 5 wounds is you're dead. The thing about 3 wounds is for every wound, your damage, the difficulty increases by 1. So your minimum difficulty now is 4 for anything.
Oh, Jesus.
You could spend a fortune point, Jeremy, to overcome weakness and ignore the effects of wounds or trauma until the end of the current scene.
One or the other, but not both.
So you could spend a fortune also to ignore the effects of your wounds.
You absolutely can.
So we have 4 skeletons, the Ritual Master, and the Assassin.
I'm gonna shoot at Ritual Master.
He's
gonna be my target.
Okay, you got 4 skeletons, and what you believe is a Draugr leading them with a sword of ice.
Draugr.
Because I don't think my arrows are gonna do much against skeletons.
And I'm sorry, it's not 4 skeletons; it's 2 skeletons.
Oh,
I apologize.
things are looking better for us.
All right.
Changes everything.
Who wants to go first?
So the skeletons and the Draugr act as a squad too. So they act as one. They don't all get separate actions.
Are you shooting the guy?
Shoot away, man.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
do
shoot.
it.
I'll shoot
Do it.
then. Can I get within optimal range, or I'm at optimal range, or how does this?
Yeah, you're at optimal range. You're at medium range.
Okay, it's a hit.
Yep, and because he's so focused on completing this ritual, he doesn't even attempt to dodge out of the way.
Well, that's good.
And you got point of momentum.
Should I spend some momentum?
I mean, you should really just spend Doom.
Oh,
because
end of the adventure.
And there's only 3 guys.
It doesn't give me the option to add Doom for damage. Can we only use Doom to do rolls? Because it's not giving me that for damage bonus.
Yeah, you have to spend momentum for damage.
I will spend 2 of our 3 momentum on damage, and then leave that remaining momentum for someone else.
You got 4 momentum at the moment.
I'll spend 2. 8 damage.
8 damage. Any effects on that?
Piercing.
1.
So you got piercing 1. Okay, so you do get past his armor and do some damage, and he jerks. He's like, you're distracting me. You're going to make me angry. You don't want to see that, Archer. But yeah, the arrow is sticking out of his back through his icy hide.
That is it for me.
All right, Argus is going to charge the assassin. Well, not charge. That's not really his style. Casually meander.
Saunter.
Yeah.
So you're going after Culver.
Yeah.
Stroll. Just take a stroll.
So I'll use my minor to move right, and then I can attack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you some Doom because this guy's already fucking gone, so I don't care. I'm gonna. So he still can. He's still guarded, right? Even
Yep,
when
he's got his guard, but his reach is only 1, so it doesn't really matter.
So I don't have to break it because my reach is 2.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so it's only if there's this further that are better.
Yeah, it only matters really if it's greater. If it's equal to or less, you don't have to worry about it because you're basically already automatically inside of his guard because your weapon's bigger.
And he's wearing like leathers.
He appears to be wearing kind of like a vest, an ornate vest and furs.
Okay, so I am going to attack him, and I get a bonus dice for having a better reach or no?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so I get 1 extra die.
No, only if you break his guard do you get the bonus dice.
That doesn't sound like it's necessarily worth it. Okay. I'm gonna spend a momentum to get an extra dodge.
Okay.
All right, cool. 4 successes.
You got 4 successes. He will
Nice.
try to parry.
So
I think his dagger does have parry, so he is okay there. And he will spend some doom to help that out.
Oh,
4 successes.
all right. So we tied, right? So I can hit him.
Yep, you hit him.
Okay. So I got 3 extra momentum. I'm going to spend 1 momentum to what?
He got the same amount as you did, so you don't get any actual extra momentum from that.
Because it's
so.
just a success for success. Okay.
Yep. It's the difference.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to give you a doom, and I'm going to put penetration on this.
Okay,
So
so
it's a momentum spin.
Yep. So you can do. Give me a point of doom, and so that'll get past 2 points of his armor.
Yeah. I don't know if he has any, but I feel like he does. And then I'll roll damage.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
And no effects, but 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay, and you got past 2 points of his armor. So you bring your broadsword around and describe how you kill Calder.
Oh,
Yes.
I think he, as a pirate, he is extremely strong, but he does have that more nuanced fighting style. So I think he kind of goes into swing and getting him to parry, but he like kind of swipes around his back and does it basically exactly what he did to Cormac, and not expecting it, stabs him in the back, and you see the broadsword come out through the front of his chest.
Nice.
And he just kind of puts his head against his head and just kind of slowly brings him to the ground.
And he slips off of your blade in a pool of his own blood and feces. And the traitor Calder is no more.
Yay.
Nice.
Yay!
I go,
Who's
Captain.
up?
I was gonna fortune point attack him again, but he's dead.
Now he was devious and deadly, but he was not too tough.
oh, Captain, my Captain.
Who's really
Yarr!
All right, who's going next?
How far away is the guy that Quintus shot at? The Krampus guy?
He's in medium range. Old Strobart is at medium.
So I could get there with my normal movement. I don't
Yep.
have to do sprint.
Yep.
Okay.
You can get there with a normal movement.
I will go in. Daggers drawn. I'll try this again. Daggers drawn. Okay. And I will attack. I'm going to be giving you. Okay, so the game's not like, it's not like Actung where like momentum and doom are spent for the same stuff. Is that correct?
I mean, for the most part, they are. It's just a
Okay.
few instances where they are not.
Okay.
Like you could give me doom for most of the effects that you could use momentum for, except for damage and a couple of others. And I can use doom freely for virtually anything you would use it for as a character or to give complications, etc.
Okay. So I'm gonna attack. Do I need, if I'm gonna do like a swift action to attack with with the dual wielded dagger, do I have to declare that before I attack, or is that something I can spend afterwards?
You can spend after.
Okay, so
Nice.
I'll go ahead and attack. I'll give you a doom to get an extra die, so I can take 2 extra die because of my
Okay.
feat retreat.
Mhm.
So that's 2 bonus die. That is 4
Nice.
successes, so it
Nice.
generates 3 momentum.
Nice.
So is he parrying or anything on that?
Not on that one. Once again, he's focused on this ritual. It's probably going to change here in a second, but
Okay.
now that you guys are really starting to anger him.
Does he look like he has armor on?
Yeah, you're noticing as your blade chips against him, this icy sheath that's around him, and this horsehair cassock. It's like you're chipping into ice, and it's almost regenerating. But I mean, obviously there's penetration. There's an arrow sticking out of his shoulder, but
Okay. So I think, can I spend a momentum for penetration on the damage?
yes,
No? Okay. So it's 1 for that.
one you can spend 1. It's repeatable, so you'd spend 2 to penetrate 4 points of armor if you wanted.
I'll leave just that, and I'll just get an extra 1 point of. I'll spend another momentum for an extra point of damage. So
Okay.
there should be 2 left. So then, damage. So momentum. Okay. Ugh. And then I'll use my talent thingy for to re-roll that. So 5
Okay.
physical. The effects on a dagger are, let's see. I don't think they're really going to come into play here because it's not hidden. But nonetheless, it's 5 to the head.
Could you could re-roll the effect die, right? If you
I
You don't-
could.
like, yeah, if it doesn't you do anything right for you.
That gives a point of damage.
Oh, does it still give a damage and an
Yeah.
effect? Okay, I thought it just gave an effect.
No, it's damage.
Never
too.
mind, then you might as well keep it. Yeah.
So you chip into him, and he grunts. You feel that you've wounded him, but he's still up.
Okay. I will then spend those 2 momentum to attack with the other dagger with a +1. This will give me a +1 dice on this as part of the swift. Or is it +1 difficulty?
It's +1 difficulty.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. And I'll give you a doom to get an extra 2 die on that.
Okay. And this time you see the chain around his wrist, almost of its own volition, reach up to parry you.
Oh boy. Ooh,
That's
good.
4 successes, 2 more momentum generated.
Nice.
So he needs 5. Nice.
And
And
what's
he does
the-
not get it. So it's
Okay.
the difference. So you got 4 successes. He got 2 successes. So it's 2.
Okay.
Momentum.
Nice.
So I'll do the same thing I did last time. 1 momentum for an extra damage die, 1 momentum for piercing.
Nice.
So 1 momentum. And then I'll re-roll that thing that I missed on. So 4
the head
damage
again.
to the
4
head
damage.
again, and
Nice.
1 piercing.
So he's looking really rough now. Was not enough to wound him again, but he's looking staggered. So I'm going to spend a doom as he turns and looks at you, and you hear this horrible screeching noise come out of his mouth as his hand comes up and just forms a claw in your direction. And you feel something tearing at you. You can attempt to parry this with an acrobatics check.
Okay.
He got
Oh.
6 successes.
What?
I
God.
will choose to not do that and
Take
embarrass
it.
myself.
Oh,
God.
Well, you offset, like your successes would offset, hence like, some of his success, possibly. If you got 4 successes, his net successes would only be 2.
I
Mm.
will
See what I'm saying?
use the last bit of momentum, I think. Or no, there should be. I think I generate. Did I generate any? No, you can take a doom. I'll do this to get an extra dice in case I roll
Okay.
3 crits. I mean, maybe I'll just roll 3
You could.
crits.
You could.
You could roll 3 crits.
I didn't,
No,
and I
no.
rolled a complication.
So that'll give me. I'm just going to take a point of doom for that because at this point,
Oh,
it's
God.
not going to matter that much. But you got 2 successes, so he only generated 4 extra successes. So I need to roll the damage on that.
This might hurt.
This might hurt.
It's gonna hurt a lot.
'Tis a flesh wound.
I'm actually set up to roll the damage.
Oh, there's a reroll. Melissa said there is a reroll in chat.
There's no reason to re-roll that. Like that's
All right.
Decent roll. 7.
Yeah, you would only get maybe 1.
Yeah, I already got it.
Okay, so okay, so 2, 3, 4 damage, 5 damage, and 1 effect. That's not too bad. So it's piercing 3, so it bypasses 3 points of your armor. It's vicious 2.
7 damage.
7 damage. And it bypasses 3 points of your armor, and it's intense. So if you took a wound, you take 2 wounds.
I will take 2 wounds.
Okay, that's not.
As the spell goes off, and you feel almost feels like he's trying to tear your heart out of your chest. And blood vessels burst across the skin and across your face. You feel your nose start to bleed. And he just screeches, "Get away from me, I have work to finish." Back to you guys.
Oh, Cormac, did you go already?
I have not. I was gonna. Do you have? I have an idea of what I want to do because I made a promise to old Jeff at the beginning of the stream.
That is fair. I was gonna find some fire for you. Could you use some fire?
I'm not against it.
That's fair. So, oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you first.
So yeah, so there's like wall sconces or like torches or something, correct? And then
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna utilize my like nimble as a cat talent and do some leaping about. So as it says, it reduces it by 1. So like, how does this work? How does a talent work where I'm not actually rolling anything? Does it just happen?
What are you trying to do with it?
So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over and I'm going to grab like a torch that's nearby and I'm going to like throw it to Cormac because I'm thinking that fire frozen dude, this should aid him in his like destruction.
Okay, it's fun. It's interesting. I will say that the difficulty is in grabbing the torch and throwing it to him. So you've got to do a you're doing a throwing attack, so basically a ranged weapon attack with this torch, and because it's an improvised weapon and the distance, it would normally be difficulty 2, but because of your acrobatics, I will lower the difficulty to difficulty 1.
So how do am I supposed to?
So you just need to make a ranged attack. So if you go to your skills, you can look down under coordination. You'll have ranged. You should be able to click the dice button under ranged, and use that. You've got 1 momentum if you want.
Whoa!
You really want? You got 2 successes. So you grab this. Acrobatically grab this torch and you throw it right at Cormac. You generate an extra point of momentum. Cormac, I'm just going to you're up. So this torch is coming at you.
Just bounces off your back and.
Oh, God damn it. No, I will spend my fortune to ignore any trauma or wounds.
Well, you got to pick one or the other. You can ignore trauma. You can ignore wounds, or you can ignore trauma. Trauma is mental. Wounds is physical. So physical is probably where you want to go.
I've got a lot more wounds, but yeah, no, just something about having the warmth in hand. Like this is kind of it's become an all or nothing situation. He drops the shield, grabs the torch in one hand and the battle axe in the other, and we'll go forth.
I'm going to give you the catch for free just because it's cool. Go for it.
All right, so yeah, let's close in with...
Now, who are you closing in on? The Draugr and the skeletons, or Strobart?
Can I reach Strobart? Because if I can't, I'm going to do something.
He's in medium range, so you can reach him. Yes, with your movement action and then attack.
Melt Santa. Get Santa in the fight.
Look at this, Cormac going to kill Steel again. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get a Santa Claus.
I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? Because earlier in the stream, I did promise old Jeff that I would throw an axe. Maybe I'm just too wounded to actually go charging in, and I just want to like hurl the battle axe at him.
At Strobart?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't have the thrown quality.
It does not, but I made a promise. I told old Jeff I would do it.
I love it.
So I'm gonna do it.
So it's basically an improvised weapon. You're at medium range, difficulty 3.
Okay.
To hit.
You got this.
I got this. We have momentum.
2 momentum.
2 momentum. So you get 2 extra dice.
What do I roll for attacking in range?
Range?
It's ranged attack.
Oh Jesus! Why am I doing this?
Where is that? Here it comes.
Why am I doing this?
Is that a coordination?
Do you have another fortune point?
Yep.
You
spent 2 so far.
This is where dreams are made of.
You know,
Now,
it's good.
I think you did sacrifice your third fortune point during character
Yeah.
creation, didn't you? So
I
Oh,
did.
he did.
So this is a really bad idea. I should just attack him, but I told Jeff I would do it.
do it. It's fun. It's
I
interesting.
told him I would do it. So I'll spend my 2 momentum on the extra.
Don't get a complication.
I sure don't. And difficulty is what, 3?
3.
God, this is dumb.
Oh,
You got 2 rerolls. 2 rerolls.
rerolls,
It was
yeah.
reminded in the chat there.
We
Use 'em
okay
or
with
lose
the
'em.
reroll?
Use them. This is
Okay.
this is last boss.
18 and 12.
God, it would have been so much smarter to just chop at him.
Just
But if you succeed,
Oh,
it'll
can
look
take a
badass if you pull
You
this
got
off.
to re-roll all of them though. It's
Is
oh,
there-
oh,
the
you
whole
rerolls
turn.
all of it.
All or none.
Oh,
It's a-
shit.
It's an
Oh, I see,
audience
okay.
re-roll.
Well, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, honestly, that was pretty good. Yeah, I wish I could just choose which dice to reroll. But I
Yeah.
don't can. So I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
you can
reroll all selected.
Just roll again, yeah.
There we go.
Oh yeah!
What?
3
Yes.
successes.
What?
But
Merry Christmas, you filthy son of a bitch.
but the chain comes up to parry because
That needs 4.
Aw.
yeah, he's got to get 4 though.
Oh,
He
Of
gets
course
5.
he would. Of course he would. All right.
So the
But it
chain
was
comes
like-
up, knocks the battle axe out of the way, and it goes skittering off into the corner. So now you're armed with a torch.
It's fine. It was worth it.
It
A
was
promise is a promise.
worth it. Thing of beauty. So that's all of you guys.
Gorm gets to go.
oh, Gorm.
Gorm generates a momentum. Let him go last, because if any of his allies have attacked before him in the round, he generates an auto momentum on his attack. So don't write Gorm off. He's gonna just generate momentum for us over and over again.
No peaches.
No Peaches. Peaches didn't generate momentum, from what I remember.
She just killed.
She just
yeah,
killed.
She did kill.
She's
So
going
who's,
after Strobart.
Okay.
Or he's going after Strobart. Okay, let's do this.
Woo!
2 successes. Is he gonna try to parry or whatever?
Oh yeah. So it's,
Okay.
now he's up to spending 3 doom to attempt to parry this, but
Yep.
but he didn't attempt to parry
Yeah,
it.
just really running out of doom over there.
Yeah, he's so low at 27. Doom.
Yeah, it is. It's poor guy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
the
Okay.
wrong
So
way.
yeah, it does not bite, but we got a momentum out of this.
So the chain comes across and smacks Gorm across the face. And the
actually got 2
Draugr
momentum. All right.
and the Draugr and the frozen skeletons move in and attack Argus.
Whoa! 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 Sorry, I wasn't in character. I was so caught off guard.
So the
Bird.
frozen skeletons are essentially assist the Draugr with their
Okay,
attacks.
so it's just one attack. But
It's
essentially,
one attack, but they assist. So
time to use my build. No one's attacked me this whole time.
We still
So
have
it's just-
rerolls. We got 2 more.
Yep.
Janov. Jeff just bought us another one.
So
0
the
successes.
first one missed. Did not assist. Let's put it that way.
Oh, this is to assist. Okay, yeah.
The second one. It's just the first dice because they don't get to roll 2. But the second one did assist, and give 2 successes. But he only gets to count 1. So the guy, the Draugr has 1 auto success at the moment,
Okay.
and he is going to attack with this sword that appears to be made of pure ice. And he is going to spend some doom for additional
Naturally.
dice. He
Okay.
gets 5 successes in total and a complication. So the complication is complication is his swing. He swings through. He strikes you, but he swings hard enough through that the swing carry through destroys one of the other skeletons on accident.
Okay.
So he comes through. He swings with this thing.
Well, I'm gonna parry.
I think that's a good idea because he got 5 successes.
Don't you worry. What?
And you have rerolls. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the plan. So I don't give you doom because I get it for free with deflection.
Mhm.
And what is his reach?
His reach is 2.
Okay, so we have the same. I just seen if I got any bonuses there. Okay, so then I'm gonna spend the 2 momentum. That gives me 2 bonus dice, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go with that. That should be. Let's hope it's enough. And then I just rolled a normal parry skill. I
Yep,
assume?
parry. Yep, just your
Okay.
parry skill.
Momentum 2. Difficulty is 5.
You got this, Captain.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
rerolls,
reroll, reroll.
reroll,
Don't-
reroll.
Yep.
Wee, wee, wee,
Go ahead and reroll. Yeah, those 2 complications.
wee.
That's okay.
9.
So you get 3 successes. He got 5, so he generates 2 extra doom on that. And he's gonna do some damage now.
Damn.
He is gonna do
Damn.
some
Damn it.
damage.
Oh. My.
Your leg is
okay.
chopped off.
11 damage to your right leg. So you get to soak some. Well, it's hold on. It's
I
not
don't
just
have
11.
any
He's got vicious 1, so it's 14 points of damage.
Okay.
So that's 2. Well, what's your armor on your leg?
0.
Okay, so it's 14 points of damage, and you take 2 wounds, and it's persistent 2. So at the start of your turn, you are going to take 6 points of damage for the next 3 rounds, unless you take the minor action to clear, which allows you to get rid of persistent effects.
Huh. Okay, so I'm at 0.
Or you can spend 3 doom to negate persistent effects. So you can give me 3 doom right now to not worry about the persistent effects.
Sure.
Do it.
Okay.
So I take 2 wounds, and then I take a 3rd one going down to 0, right?
Yep. So you got 3 wounds.
Wow, that sucked.
He hit hard. All right. And he didn't even have to spend any of his special doom. But it's back to the top of the turn order.
Woo.
Could Rogo go first? Because I feel like he's gonna die in a second.
Do it.
So can I just get one shot off before I go
Get him,
down?
Roga.
Doom Master, can I make a case that I'm being reckless and maybe by
Get a fortune
charging-
point back?
Yeah.
You know, I like that. I think
Okay.
that's fair. It was reckless and stupid to attack a demigod by
That's
yourself. I love it.
Exactly the type of guy that Rogo was. Okay. So I'm gonna spend that fortune point that you just gave me immediately to not have the effects of the wounds, to ignore the effects of wounds.
Uh-huh.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So then I'm going to, as my standard action, I'm gonna try something different because this will be my last actions ever with this guy. Exploit. I'm gonna try to do an observation test to do an exploit thing.
Mm-hmm.
So observation test of the D1.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try that. Oh goodness. I always lose track of everything. All right, here we go. Okay, I got 2 successes, which
Yeah.
gives us 1 momentum.
Mhm.
Then I want to spend my last fortune point, because I did have 1 more,
Mhm.
to take another action,
Yep.
and I want to attack with daggers.
Nice.
So I'm going to go ahead and attack with my dagger, as I learned something about them. So I'm going to attempt to do this. I will go ahead and use that momentum to get 2 extra die on this attack.
Mm-hmm.
So that's bonus 2 die. Okay. So is it difficulty?
It's difficulty 1.
All right. So I'm just gonna drop it. It's not doing the ignore my thing. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna drop it back manually. That's 4 successes.
Nice. Since you spent a fortune point to do this, 2 fortune points. He's not going to parry, so he didn't see it coming. He thought you were
Okay.
down and gone. He thought that spell crushed your heart. So
keep
you
those small-
surged back up with your daggers and got inside and stuck him.
What he does not know is Rogo's heart was already crushed, as he got dumped approximately 2 hours ago.
'Twas a sad time.
It was very sad. So I'm going to spend the same momentum combo I did before. So 2 to get an extra die and the piercing.
Mhm.
Okay, so
And it's vicious and intense with the
exactly, yeah.
Mm.
So, and I'll re-roll that thingy because I have my thing. Okay, so that's 6 points of damage to the right leg with 1 effect, and it
So
is
that's
now
7.
Yeah. So
so and that does 2 wounds
yeah.
because he has no armor there. So what happens is he thinks you're down, and you fell over as the spell hit a little. You sagged, and then you lurched back up with his dagger, and you felt it just part up through his skin, and his skin felt waxy, and you get inside of his belly, and instead of feeling what you normally feel like organs, you feel like almost like maggots rolling around your hands, and you drive your dagger up, and you hear he just lets out a little and then he leans over and he puts one of these giant massive clawed hands on your shoulder, and he leans into your forehead and he gives you a kiss on the forehead, and he goes, "I'll be dreaming about you," and he falls over dead. And as Strobart dies, the Draugr disanimates and the skeleton crumbles, and the ice sheath around Sinterklaas breaks. And he sits up on his chair, and he's like, I knew you all had it in you. And you've done well, my friends. I've been waiting for you, and you've done me very proud. Good fortune is yours, and have no fear. We'll tell the Jarl that he and his people will be safe. He turns to Laguerre, and he's like, "Laguerre, my sweet girl, I've watched over you since your birth. Your brother was a bad egg. You'll have to tell your father what has happened here. But it was worth it. You freed me from my dear friend Strobart's machinations, at least for the time being. He'll return to the Dreamlands, and I'll see him soon. You can't truly kill a dream like him or me, but you can slow us down for a time." And then out of his pocket, he magically pulls out these 5 medallions, and they're made of iron in the shapes of snowflakes. And he says, "For each of you, as a parting gift, with my thanks." These all provide Courage 3 and the effect of the talent Good Fortune. And what that means is every time you go to spend a fortune dice, you get to roll 1 effect die. And if a 5 or 6 comes up, you don't actually spend the fortune point.
Oh,
Ooh.
That's huge.
wow.
Gambling.
Gambling.
And then he says, and then he goes, "Now, you must all be tired after your long fight and journey." And at that, you all feel your eyes close. I mean, you just fall into a deep slumber. And you feel like you hear bells in your dreams, and you feel weightless, and you feel motion and movement. And for moments, you think you wake up in a land of dreams as you move through the dreamland and visit all of the houses within the Jarl's domain. And he pops out of the dreamlands and gives out these gifts. And then at his last stop at the Jarl's longhouse, he lays you all out with your own bags, pats you each on the head. He goes, "Now, some of you are not as good as you should be, but you've done me a good turn this time. I'll be watching for you next year. Return for Yule, and you shall be greeted by me with open arms." And with that, Sinterklaas fades into everyone's dreams, and the morning comes, and the Jarl awakens to find his daughter back and all of you back. His sleigh is back and his men are back. No one has any idea how you arrived. He mourns over his son, but understanding his treachery marks his name out of the family ledger. Lagertha is named as his heir, You are feasted and feted for the remainder of the times you stay in the village, so your upkeep is 0 for now. You're given 15 gold by the Jarl and the 7 gold by the Caravan Master. So you have 22 gold.
Wow.
To think about what you want to do with, because when we start the campaign, you will no longer be in Nordheim, but we will start with a carousing event and an opportunity for you to spend or lose some gold.
Yes. Love
when
it.
we start the precursor to the Shadow of the Sorcerer after Achtung Cthulhu. I know it's late. I know we ran late. I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight here at Garblag Games for our Conan one-shot. I know we had some rough spots that I'm going to iron out between now and when we start the next campaign. But we really do appreciate you watching us on Garblag Games here on Twitch. So please go take a look at this on YouTube, throw it on, give us a like and a comment. If you're watching this later on YouTube, feel free to reach out and see us what Garblag Games has to do on Twitch. We do a lot of things. We also have a very robust Discord channel with over 700 members, always talking about role-playing games and movies and books. And we're all frequently on there making comments. So if you want to reach out to me and tell me how badly I screwed up a rule, the Discord channel is probably the best place to do it. I'm happy to hear it all. I take criticism as well as anyone can imagine. But I've really appreciated you guys sticking it out. And I wanted to wish a happy holiday to everybody. But before we go, we're going to do a quick roundtable and see what everybody else has got going on for the rest of the week. And going into the new year, we'll start with Jeff and the Lollygaggers.
Yeah, tomorrow night, twitch.tv/lollygaggers. We're doing another like one-shot Christmassy thing with Electric Bastionland. Jeremy's gonna be joining us for that. No One Ring this weekend because it's Christmas Eve, but Monday we might do something. I don't know yet. Maybe we'll figure it out. Tuesday we're doing our finale of Haunted West, where we're giving away a book, an actual copy of Haunted West, a big old 800-page horror Western stuff. And tomorrow night we're giving away dice as well. So a lot of giveaways coming in the next few days.
Jeremy, what you got going on?
I always like to let people know about Aaron Reese on Patreon. You've got comics, art, tokens, RPG assets, lots of fun stuff. Check it out.
Yeah, everybody should give that a shout. How about you, Evan?
Yar!
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 I'm glad to see that everybody got hit a little. Well, almost everybody got hit a little hard. Lenora came out of that completely unscathed, I think. So, Megan, what do you have going on then? Now that Lenora's in the clear.
Right? It's Christmas, Aaron. Things are crazy.
Things are crazy. I love it. I love it. Matt.
Nothing. That was great. Thank you, Aaron, for running that. That was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to our upcoming campaign when we're done Achtung Cthulhu, Shadows of Atlantis. And speaking of which, we're going to be back to that on January 19th. So we're done with games until the 19th, unless some of these folks are around next week and we want to do a one-shot of something. We might do that. But otherwise, we will return with Achtung Cthulhu January 19th. I'm just looking at the calendar here. So we're going to be away for a few weeks. So then we're going to wrap up that campaign, and then we're going to do a Conan campaign that Aaron's running for us. So it's going to be good. You'll see, and we all survive, so you'll see these characters again.
Crom. Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Have a great holiday this weekend.
Good night.